If you're watching live on Facebook, thanks for joining us. We're here every Saturday at 6 o'clock. Welcome, everybody, to the Arch City Paranormal Podcast. I am Kyle, your tour guide through the weird, and I welcome you back once again to another recording of whatever this will end up being. I'm joined once again by T.
Hello.
And Allyson.
Hi.
And back with us once again is Rachel, everybody. Rachel's back.
Hi.
Yay! We get the obligatory audience and the one guy in there screaming. So, here we are again. Saturdays at 6. Every Saturday we're here, and I'm kind of organized. We got stuff going on. I've got like headlines and stuff I want to cover, and so this week we're going to talk about crystals. But first, you had said you wanted to do more readings, which I thought was super cool. So we got people lining up in the chat. If you have questions that you might have for Rachel regarding anything, mediumship. Am I calling that the right thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if you have anything like mediumship questions, anything like that, line up there in the chat. You can fire away. T is reading along right now. If I clear my throat so I sound halfway normal. But we're going to talk about crystals and what they do, where they're from. I've got a bunch of email about those as well. And of course, as always, we're going to have T's news. I've got a new Would You Rather. We got a new segment that we do now called Would You Rather. So I've got another Would You Rather that we'll do this week. T, you have your news headlines?
I came in 2.5 seconds.
All right, cool. And go.
I'm excited to play Would You Rather, too. That's exciting. New stuff.
13 of the strangest, creepiest, haunted objects we found on eBay.
Oh, sweet. Cool.
A bit pharaoh-fetched. A paranormal explorers claim a huge crystal pyramid on the seabed is the secret behind the mysterious Bermuda Triangle.
Okay.
And selling a haunted house? Here's what you need to know. Analysis finds most states don't require home sellers to disclose paranormal activity to buyers.
Okay. That's good.
Because we do
Isn't
have...
that a selling point?
Well,
I'd be okay with that.
It would be audience like specific as to what, as to whether or not that was something. Are those the headlines?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
It's not T's new.
It's not T's new this week. It was new last week.
It was new with Tay.
New with Tay because it was singular. We only had one story because of technical issues. So we have plural this week, which is already a step in the right direction.
Killing it.
You're over there just slaying it. Just absolutely killing it. Also, if you're watching along on YouTube at some point in time down the road, Chad is back. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure why it quit working, but it did.
Was it working initially?
Yeah.
And then it just...
No. Like if you look back at the video, it wasn't.
Okay.
Now, everybody that watched live could see the chat and they could comment. We were talking to them and everything. But one of the things we did is we added on the chat for YouTube. So after the fact, when we posted up on YouTube, folks could follow along and see, oh, well, yeah, she said this, or, this was something that was going on. So I thought that was a nice feature, and it seemed like people liked it. And then, of course, last week we didn't do it. And it wasn't any fault of our own. And thankfully, I wasn't told during the podcast, because the entire time I would have just sat here and spun out in my head, like, I'm never going to fix it. I don't know how I'm going to fix it. So anyway.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Michael.
Thanks for joining us. So anyway, if you're following us on Facebook, of course, we're here every Saturday, 6 p.m. If you're not able to follow us there and you're listening to the podcast at some point in time down the road, you can go back and watch this if you go to YouTube and subscribe there. Just search for Arch City Paranormal. And also something new that I got a notification about that we're listed on now is Podchaser. Podchaser.com. Go there and you can rate Arch City Paranormal Podcast. Go there and find us. You can rate us. Only 5-star ratings, as we've said in the past. Nothing else is allowed. But you go there and you can rate the podcast, and like obviously if you like Arch City Paranormal and then the stuff that we're tagged in, it'll suggest other podcasts that you might be interested in.
They won't be as good as ours.
Of course not. Of course not. But you can go there. You can go to podchaser.com and look for Arch City Paranormal and give us a rating there, and then you can find other podcasts that you might be interested in. I know you guys trade. Trade podcasts.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm pretty picky. I'm not picky. I'm lazy. That's what I am. I know what I like, and it's like I list what I listen to, and I don't listen to anything else. So I know you guys like trade. So this is like a big website that like does that for you.
Oh, nice.
We may have to go check that out.
We're going to have to.
Podchaser.com. So go check that out. We're listed on there. I got an email saying, hey, check this out. So anyhow, obviously we're going to dive into the chat, of course, because we've got a bunch of people lining up there in the chat. It looks like, kind of from what I can see. from here anyway. There you go. Podchaser.com.
Okay.
But we've got email and then
Hi, Brittany. It's Brittany Roar.
Oh, hey.
Juanita.
Thanks
She
for
said,
joining us.
"Yeah, looking good, sweet cheeks."
Of course.
Allyson, you've met Vanita.
Yes.
Yes, you have.
Thanks for joining us. So, do we want to start and chat? Do we have anything?
Not yet, no ma'am. No,
Okay. Whichever. Yeah, it's fine.
We're
It's
fluid.
fine. You know.
No, bitch. We ain't got shit.
That works too. So, but you had specifically asked that the way the conversation started about you doing readings again this week was that you had some that you wanted to touch on that you had been contacted about.
Yeah, there was one that had reached out to us, and I felt bad that we didn't get a chance to get to her because
Okay.
it seemed like she had commented on our podcast or our live, or maybe watched it later,
Okay.
and then sent us a message.
then
So I
jumped in
wanted
there.
to have the opportunity
Cool.
to.
So do you want to do that first, or do you guys want to dive into email like normal? It's up to you.
Is she on? I'm not sure.
Is she with us? Do you know?
Doesn't.
Maybe we'll give it a minute or two.
Yeah, it doesn't look like she is, but
So most of our emails that I've got lined up are crystals, questions about crystals, stuff like that. So we can get into that and sort of bounce back and forth like we did last time. Is that what you guys want to do?
I'm down for whatever.
Sure. Okay, cool. So then, and also, I guess I didn't talk about my headlines, did I? We're going to talk about crystals, and then I've got a thing about artificial intelligence that we can talk about later that sort of ties into our would you rather. If we get there. We're going to do would you rather, but...
Did you see a question from Mary? Mm-hmm. Yes? Okay.
I did not. Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
I'm
okay.
not looking at any chat, so...
Yeah, this when Poodle does this, it requires Miss Storts and I both.
yeah.
Gotcha. So we'll start out with email, and then, like I said, we're gonna get into crystals first, and then if we've got any other questions for Rachel, feel free to chime in the chat. We've got T and Allison both paying attention. So email everybody.
Nice catch, Poodle.
Good job. Jennifer writes in. She says, "Hi everybody.
Hi.
You mentioned hi. So you mentioned tourmaline as a crystal you carry. I think it may have been Mike or Kyle. I do. I carry it. I don't know if Mike does or not. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Piece right here.
There you go. Yeah.
I
That's
carry
the
that
stuff.
every day.
Mine's not as big as yours, but I don't know what you're doing over there. Do that. Anyhow, what is this? Hold on. Because I get distracted. I can't read. It's fundamental.
Squirrels.
What is this specifically? Where is it from? How does it work? What's it for? Thank you so much for the show. I love it. It makes weird paranormal stuff seem less intimidating than other shows I've tried. So that's pretty cool. So what I did is, since I don't know anything about these, what I did do is I went and looked at well, you might have it here since you got it looked up, but I went and looked at where it's from and then what element family it's in. So tourmaline, I can say, and because I thought you'd be better for metaphysics for sure, because I don't know what the fuck. You tell me what the hell to carry. So, but I found that tourmaline is a bit you can find on every continent, and that it is in the family of aluminum.
Really?
Yeah, or
Aluminium?
Aluminium. So, but there. Okay, there you go. I'm done.
Strong work, babe.
It's my contribution. Done. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Fire away.
So, it comes in, and I think what we're mostly referring to is the black tourmaline, probably what's most commonly seen. While we're at it, I know we've recommended this book before, but just what I'm looking at here is Judy Hall's Crystal Bible. And we've talked about that. I think that was back when you did the Book of the Week.
Old school.
Yeah.
Old school.
But it comes in several different colors: black, brown, green, pink, red, yellow, blue, watermelon, and blue-green.
Watermelon.
Watermelon, yeah.
I want a watermelon tourmaline.
Yeah, so, but I think when you go to a store, the most one that's commonly found is the black tourmaline. Or you'll find tourmaline down into, incorporated into other crystals as well. So you may see it's called reticulated. You'll see pieces of tourmaline down inside of another stone. And so it works on working in your cleansing the negative energy out. So people use it as protective.
That's why you told me to start carrying it.
Yeah.
You're like, here, you need this.
Yes. So
I was
you're
like, okay, whatever.
So especially for people who are sensitive and picking up other energies, I mean, all of us do that to some extent or the other. But for those of us that are more susceptible to picking up on something, it helps to filter out and cleanse those energies and vibrations that are coming in that are a lower vibration than where you would be at. So
Bad mojo.
Yeah.
If you're following along at home.
Yeah, they're very powerful for mental healing too, as well. Helps to bring together the right and the left, the dualities, bringing them back into balance. So some people call that, the feminine and masculine sides too, bringing those into balance. And changing your negative thought patterns into more positive ones. So that's what I would recommend, along with some other stones if you're looking for something in the same realm that's protective. Obsidian is good.
I stumbled into some of those rabbit holes that I get into. I stumbled into some of that today, how like obsidian was like closely related to this and the properties of what it does.
Yes.
And isn't obsidian
here.
Isn't it like lava rock or something? Isn't that what obsidian is? I have no idea. I guess I should know what I'm talking about before I.
Well, as
but,
far
but
as
what fun would that be?
well, I
If
can
we
tell
just
you
can
very
just spit things
specifically.
out. Is it a rabbit? I don't know. Hamsters. And the stuff works off of vibrations, correct?
So yeah,
Like what your vibes are.
Yeah, again, obsidian. You're probably it comes most commonly as black, but it does have rainbow red, black, silver, brown, gold sheen, and
Rainbow be badass.
primarily comes out of Mexico, and it is a molten lava.
Okay,
So-
I thought that's what that was.
So it's cooled so quickly that it has no time to crystallize.
Gotcha. And they made high-end arrowheads out of that. Primitives made high-end arrowheads. Like the best arrowheads were obsidian because you could make them so sharp because they weren't crystallized. They would anyway. It doesn't matter.
A lot of times,
Not what we're talking about.
a lot of times, so people were just instead of just carrying them, they will also put them.
Did you just apologize to the microphone?
well, for making the noise.
F that thing.
Making the noise more than.
Okay.
A lot of times people will put obsidian too underneath their pillow or in their pillowcase to help to filter out negative thoughts and dreams during that dream state.
Okay. Well, cool. Sweet.
So,
So make sure we answered her. Where's it from? How's it work? The vibe thing is how it works,
okay,
though. That's
so
like
so if we want, let's talk a little
the
bit
general.
about, like how do crystals work?
Yeah, like the general. Because I actually like a couple of the emails that I have actually have that question. And they're like, exactly like what is the. One of them even, which we'll get into more, I'm sure, but one of them even talks. Is there any like actual science or anything behind it? So go ahead, fire away.
There is some science. You're gonna have somebody who just will say too that it just has the whole placebo effect. Okay, well if that's what helps you, then
That's kind of where I was.
so. Okay, cool. Right?
Yeah,
so,
when you told me to carry it, that's kind of like where I was. You were like, here, you need this, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, all right, cool, yeah.
Yeah, so I think when you're thinking about the healing properties, we're going to talk about it from a holistic healing approach. So meaning it is helping to heal your physical, your spiritual, mental, and emotional health. All of those, we're looking at the whole picture. So a lot of times if you're thinking about, I don't know, let's talk about if you are having trouble with shoulder pain. Okay, so there's obviously a physical component to that. But also if you're carrying a lot of stress, so a lot of people carry stress up in their upper back or shoulder. So they may notice that it comes up and is more painful during times of emotional stress or distress. Or if you're just mentally exhausted, your body can't heal itself and repair itself as quickly. So you got to look at all of those. So you're bringing in balance and restoring the biomagnetic sheath, an aura, in order to create some healing to whatever's going on. So if you're talking about the energy field, your biomagnetic sheath is, so we've talked about auras before. So if you picture yourself as the body, and then there's like this outlining that goes all around your body, and that first closest layer to your body is that biomagnetic sheath. It is the one that's probably most closely related to healing in the physical sense. And if you're interested, you can just Google that and you'll see a picture of it. You'll see kind of like a white space, and then around it you'll see different colors, kind of supposed to be indicating the area that you would see like your physical health, your emotional health, your mental health. And
So
you
these
see like these bands.
okay, they're each little slices of your aura.
Yeah, yeah. And so when you're doing like energy work, or you're feeling, you can feel into the depths of where somebody may be having issues. For example, if I'm giving you Reiki, I may be able to tell where you're having pain. Like I maybe keep coming back to. I think I've told this example before, and I think she's okay with sharing, so I will. Michelle from ACP, when we were doing Reiki on her, kept coming back to her elbow. Now, I didn't know she was having problems. I'm like, all right, what's up with the elbow? And she's like, oh, yeah, I've had surgery there before, and it's been acting up, and I might have to go back to the doctor, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. But if I'm working on somebody who's just experienced a lot of heartache, I'm also going to feel that radiating from their heart chakra, where they maybe, or if somebody's just feeling like they have not been able to express themselves, I may notice the energetic field of their throat chakra, feeling like they can't really speak their truth or speak their voice. But as far as the science goes, so you have, I mean, you can see that on, if you have seen pictures where people do heat, photos where they're looking at aura pictures. I'm not sure what the actual like technology is called, like thermo. You can see where people's, or like where it generates heat and energy from the body. You can actually see that in pictures. Some people say, well, that's just your temperature, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But also there's different, everything has a vibrational energy. So if you think about where crystals are formed, they're formed deep in the earth, in the earth's magnetic field. So as it's forming, you got heat and pressure, and it's changing, and some of that is getting caught and trapped into whatever that crystal is. So each crystal has its own vibration. And I'm going to quote Judy Hall here, actually, because I thought this makes it pretty clear. Each crystal has its own vibration. It can be felt by sensitive people, and most have a small but measurable electrical charge, together with an internal lattice-like structure that absorbs and transforms toxic energies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
So, again, almost all crystals are formed inside the Earth's field, deep within the Earth. They each have a magnetic charge, and it can be altered by heat and pressure. And I like that because if you think about, metaphorically even, if you're thinking about something that's, a lot of times, how do we change? How do we heal ourselves? Well, anytime you're under pressure, like nothing, you don't just normally wake up and have a wonderful day and like have a lesson learned, or like something comes out that's I feel like they've had the same type of experience, which keeps us in that same
right. You got to go through something. And
then Allyson, I had you do a Google because this was new to me, because I was looking from like the science. So you want to take a stab. So there's also crystals have this special type of electrical charge.
Piezoelectric?
Look at you.
Or piezoelectricity?
That's almost as good as Tristan's phobia.
Triskaidekaphobia.
It's a positive charge subatomic particles that are trapped in the inner structure of the lattice that's released when the crystal is squeezed or electrical field. The crystal remains unchanged. Think about a quartz watch.
Mm-hmm.
So it has an electrical
right,
charge.
which is why they use it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that shows
so that does make
science.
that's a very good point. Okay.
And then other ones may contain actual ingredients. I don't know what the word I'm trying to think, that will help to, like copper, for example, like elements that we know from a scientific standpoint help with certain ailments. So if you think about copper, there are some crystals that contain copper elements in them that will help arthritis or pain in the joints. There are some that actually contain lithium that will help with depression and things like that. So if you break them down to their compound, you can find that some of them have compound in them that is actually used in our modern medicine, if you will, to help treat these ailments as well.
Something big pharma would sell you for a bunch of cash.
Yeah. So, some of them are more toxic than others. So I'm not suggesting by any means that you grind up them and taste them. And some of them actually.
Well, hold on a minute.
So some of them will actually be harmful. So you have to be careful about, because some people make tinctures or put them down into water and will drink water that has been used. So people use crystals in a lot of different ways. Some of them, they carry them. Some people hold them. You can even lay them over the chakras. And I brought some, I don't know if you're watching live, I don't know if you can see how well you can even see these, but there are a set of stones here that were gifted to me that were made intentionally for using over the chakras. They'll have the little symbols on them, and then you can lay them over each of your energy centers as you're doing meditation to help bring things back into balance. And a lot of times they are color coordinated with the chakra that they're most closely related to. For example, if you're thinking about your root chakra and your sacral chakra, you're usually thinking about these dark, I think it started out really dark and then kind of to that dark red in the sacral area. So solar plexus, so your heart chakra is usually represented by green or pink. So a lot of the stones, their colors often reflect the way
Can everybody in chat see those? I think the camera's picking them up decent, but I don't want to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it seems like they are. If they're not, or somebody wants a closer look at those, I mean, we can hold them up, but I want to make sure. Because there's a quarry here on the table in front of us. Do you remember, real quick, not to get too off, but you're talking about like the people that would like that would make mixtures of stuff or whatever. Have you guys seen the story about the guy that would drink the silver and he turned fucking blue?
Oh yes, I have seen that.
He turned blue?
Yeah.
But I don't know what he was taking the silver for. But yeah, but like he was taking enough silver, he fucking turned blue.
You look like a Smurf.
Legit.
Wow.
With white hair. He had white hair and the whole bit, like Papa Smurf, come to life.
But his brain was still functioning?
Well, I mean, I don't know how. I mean, once you turn blue, there you go. Yeah, like Papa Smurf, come to life, brother. Like, I mean, and again, this is one of those things. Here we go, take another left-hand turn. I'm sorry, Rachel. This is why I want to get the Google chat up, or the Google up for the chat.
Oh, so people
so
can
they can
see.
Yeah, so they can see this guy. Well, they called him Papa Smurf. Check that out.
Sarah and Margot said they can't see the stones, the crystal.
Oh, they can't? Here. What ones can I put them against the white? You can probably. Because we do a darker camera for a mood setting. So if you can see that, if you can see it better against, oh, you can't see it because of your screen.
So we can take a picture and put it on Facebook and Instagram on our page.
I can do that real quick.
Here, do you want to put them on your paper?
Yeah.
Seem good?
Throw them on there. I'll throw these up on Instagram right now. But anyway, yeah. So the dude takes silver, and
I'm sorry. We have.
There are two people
Go ahead.
in our chat,
essentially
hijacking, trying to get our folks to DM them to get readings from them.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, one specifically sought out Clint, Margot, and who was the other one? And Mary.
So go ahead. You should be able to click on them, and you should be able to kick them out. Just ban them from the page.
You can?
Yeah. We'll take the time right here on live to do it, I guess. Why not? I can.
If you'd like to. Oh, the chat's working. It popped up.
Yeah, okay. Good deal.
Bear with us here just a moment, y'all. We have to get rid of the intruders.
I mean, I'm all for like if people are listening, but we're not trying to make any money here.
No.
We're just
Yeah. So we can get rid of them. How cute. I can only see a little bit of the chat, so when I logged in here, so good stuff. So I blocked or whatever your fucking name is.
How did you do it? Because I can do the.
You just click on them and block, and then
I don't have that option.
I think it's because we're in the live feed or something. It won't let me.
I can't do it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.
And then we'll definitely
we can moderate.
take pictures.
And I love
your
that
stones.
the two of the three that they did are two very loyal listeners, Margot and Clint.
Right.
I'm like, come on, you picked the wrong ones.
That's great. Well, I mean, I guess it says that, we're getting some market penetration if people are worried about our fucking live feed. Like, yeah. So, maybe, let me see. Where are you? There you are. I can delete you.
Are they our normal people? Like, are they other fans
No,
that are just...
I think they probably just saw the event share and now they're trying to message people. But it's cool. Cute name. Anyway, it's flattering. It's flattering. I appreciate it. Expected, I guess. We need to just get the... What we'll do is we'll have a nice little class on chat moderation.
Thank you, Margot.
We'll have you guys block them. And
She even told us who it was. The other is Rosemary, toward the beginning.
Rosemary, you bitch. I mean, is it that? I mean, I don't know how...
There's a part of me that kind of wishes like one of them would DM her just to see what she says.
Yeah, I can't scroll back to...
I think I might have it.
I have it. I just can't do anything.
Oh, hang on. Got it. Done.
Cool. If you click on it, you can
Yep,
block
got
them, and then we should be able to go into the business app that we have. Mm-hmm. I do believe we can.
Yeah, I just blocked her.
Find people there, and we can block people.
But two different ones? It's gotta be like from the same person. It's just using two different accounts. Or
Yeah.
Probably.
Trolling. So I apologize to chat.
Sorry.
We appreciate your view, though. You want to hang in?
Did we answer our first email?
I don't know.
Question?
We got off on Papa Smurf, and I'm sorry.
Oh, well, he ate or he drank
It was like a silver
Argaria?
mixture.
a silver poisoning from dietary supplements. It says.
But wouldn't you think that, like, once you like looked in the mirror one morning and you're blue, you would be like, "Hey."
Lloyd
It's
said,
time to slow my roll here.
What's that?
It's time to slow my roll. That's what I think. Like,
Yeah, like I think I'm gonna back off now.
So we do have a crystal question, and then we have other
Okay.
questions.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't want to spend too much time on the trolls. I mean, if they message you, I mean, fantastic. I mean, maybe troll them. Ask them about their car's warranty. See when it's going to expire, and you can send them my way. We'll try to deal with those better. We should have probably talked about it before, because as we get more viewers, we're going to have shit like that. We're not going to charge you anything. At some point later on, we might have a Patreon where you'd be able to go at certain times, and it'll be dedicated to Rachel giving readings. But that would be like $1 a month, has been the discussion that we've had.
Yeah.
Is just so that we would have someplace else to be able to host you guys and have you besides Facebook, so we wouldn't run into this. So anybody you'd be dealing with would also be subscribed with you. So yeah, if they're hitting you up that they want to charge you for a reading, I mean, I guess go ahead, but it's free here. It's free here if you're willing to stand in line and chat and listen to me babble about guys turning blue, apparently.
I would say most professional mediums too. That's not the way they conduct business. They usually have a waiting list, or they're not usually trying to go in and actively seek out customers in that manner.
Yeah, the balls of it, I mean, it's pretty, awesome. I'm kind of flattered. I really am. I'm kind of like, oh, they saw us. They saw us and decided to
Fancy and shit.
So anyway, okay, I apologize. We're done
okay.
talking about Papa Smurf. I do believe we answered. Let me make sure we answered Jennifer's questions. We can move on, so we don't get derailed too far. Tourmaline, where's it from? How's it work? And then we covered some other stuff. And like I said, I've got other emails, which we answered some questions out of those, but we'll still cover those. I'm not skipping anybody's. I tried to get all the crystal emails that everybody sent in. I tried to have them here. I've got 3 pages of notes today. That's how many emails I got. So let's go to chat.
Okay.
Where are we? You girls know what's going on there. So what are we doing?
Should we do Margot's first?
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
So Margot has lower back and leg pain from accidents and would like to know what kind of crystal she can carry for pain. That she can carry on a daily basis for pain.
I think like hematite would be a good one. I'm trying to think though if it's in your legs. So a lot of people wear it on their wrist, but you can get like the stones and maybe even placing them close into your pockets. So sometimes I feel like if you can get some skin on skin contact, it's good.
Yes, it is.
So, gosh darn it, T. So I mean, I don't know if there's a way that you could somehow, like maybe even if it's in your sock. I mean, if it's not too uncomfortable in the way you're moving, I think that would be helpful. That's probably the best one that stands out, unless you think it's more circulatory, and if you're thinking it's more of something like blood or clot related, that you might want to look at something a little bit different. And actually, I can look that up real quick and see if there's something more specific towards leg pain in itself. But hematite's probably the most popular one. It's pretty inexpensive and pretty readily found. So I think if you go to any shop or even probably online, you're going to be able to find it pretty quickly. Praise Jesus. Oh, and actually the one I looked up, I Googled it in the Crystal Bible just to see leg pain. First thing that comes up is, in fact, hematite. So I would suggest starting with that. It comes from Britain, Italy, Brazil, Sweden, Canada, Switzerland. And it aids in circulatory problems as well, blood conditions too. So give that a try. Let us know how that goes.
She also said swelling.
Swelling. So this may sound strange, but I would almost go with a rose quartz when it comes to swelling as well. Just because if you're thinking about where a lot of our swelling starts, our circulatory system starting from the heart, I would think that you may bring some balance there. And I will see if there's anything else here that as far as that's recommended. I left my glasses in the car.
I has eyeballs.
If you're anything like T, you don't need glasses. You just need longer arms.
I mean, I think this is even just. I mean, that's pretty small, right?
That's yes.
Do you want to try these?
I'm okay. Thank you.
So you actually, while you're looking at that, I can't think of the word, prescribed. I don't know what rose quartz for me too. So that's what I carry. I carry one of those as well.
Can you hit edema and healing crystals and just see what comes up? Yeah. So here's rose quartz is one of my favorites, and I feel like it is one of those that. The reason why it's so common and why a lot of people like it so much is because of the fact that it's so its uses are so abundant.
Cool.
So, anhydrite, moonstone, aquamarine. Actually, I have a little bit of moonstone here. Moonstone's another one that is one of my favorites. It also helps to connect from our physical world into spiritual world too.
Do we answer her question?
Yes.
And as far as how to use that, I would use it in the same way if the edema is primarily in the legs. Also, though, you could go ahead and put that one down in your bra. I know that some people are like, well, don't, but I think that would be a good place too, especially for trying to change that fluid balance. Having it directly on the skin would probably be beneficial.
Cool. Should we have a follow-up from her, or we covered?
That's good. I think that was everything from Margot.
Podcast beers this week, once again, provided to us by Brewdog. This is the Nitro Jet Black Heart. It's an oatmeal milk stout. I don't know if you can see it on there. I try to get it so you can.
Jet Black Heart Espresso.
It is.
Is this your favorite tea?
I don't know.
I thought somebody mentioned that.
This is T's favorite. Yeah. She just doesn't know what she's talking about.
You've had the Jet Black Heart before, but I think this one's different.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because it's the nitro. It's got the nitro in it, like
a Guinness?
Guinness, yeah. Oh, it's just coffee. It's fucking good.
You would like that.
Let me just have a snort.
You've had this.
Do you like it?
I like it.
If you tell me you don't like that, I am fully convinced that your taste buds have changed. We are no longer pals. We are no longer.
That's good.
You want one?
No.
What?
I'm good.
Let's just mix a little bit in with
Yeah.
your Starbies.
In my teeny
You're
tiny bit
already
of
good,
coffee.
especially with the straw. It'll go down faster.
Debbie just said that this one is different from the normal.
Is it?
Yep,
Is
she
it
just
because
commented.
is it because the nitro?
Or the espresso.
Yeah, it sounds like the espresso.
It's usually got a coffee thing to it from the because it's got roasted.
It's not as effervescent as I was expecting.
Effervescent.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. You know, I'm a fan of that. Big words. I mean, when we use multiple syllable words,
Brewery.
we sound smarter on the podcast. So folks like Rosemary and Ichabod show up and try to hijack our folks because we sound so smart and they think they're affiliated.
So synchronicity here. The card I pulled
Hey, there you go.
has a cup of
Espresso.
on the top. Oh, Ace of Cups. So
Good music venue
This
here
is
in
good.
town too.
So, we
Thank you, Debbie.
So we
Thank
thank you
you.
very much, Debbie. We appreciate it. Again, provided by Brewdog via Debbie, loyal viewer and T-shirt winner, by the way, which has been on the way out to her. She got an Arch Madness T-shirt she won last week. We might give one away in the chat. Not to fucking Rosemary though.
Or her buddy Ichabod.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Anyhow.
So we sincerely appreciate the beer, and we sincerely
It's the
appreciate.
espresso, both are nitro.
Oh, I got you.
Yep.
Okay, cool. It's good shit. The Jet Black Heart was already one of my favorites anyway, but this is
It's a
it's
W.
good. And I like the tall boy can. Mm-hmm. I like that. A little extra
thank
for
you so much.
So we answered that question. We'll jump into another email real quick, and then we'll hop back and chat. So hang in there if you got questions or whatever. You are in line.
There's questions.
Good. Fantastic. So hang in there. We'll want to get to our emails as well. You can email the show, artcityparanormal@gmail.com. Here, I'll throw that up on the screen. Tear my earbud out.
What? Lloyd said there's an awesome local Whitehall brewery.
Yeah.
He said he'd share the name with us.
Two-tone? I
Yes.
think it's Two Tones. Yeah.
Two tones, yep.
Yeah, it's in front of the...
Dos Cardenas.
Dos
it's in front of the
Cardenas.
old holiday lanes on Broad.
Holiday. Hold on.
Oh,
Motel.
Again, we're getting into Whitehall geography, and we have people in Europe that listen, and they're like, "What the fuck is this? We don't care."
Oh my God. And Debbie and Lloyd know each other.
Yeah, it's
I didn't know
Whitehall,
this.
man. It's the Hall, man.
So is it
the Hall.
across the street from Data Alliance?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
it used to be the. It
There's
used
a
to be.
restaurant.
Yeah, it used to be like a. It's not, but it used to be like a Perkins restaurant, like Perkins Denny's.
Yeah, I can't remember the hell.
That's not the hell. That's not what it was. But it's Two Tones. It's Two Tones Brewing. We need to go in there. Lots of pinball machines. We need to check it out. You know,
Julie's mom worked there for years.
fucking COVID.
Rona, ruining things. Anyways. On to
Anyway, yeah, onward and upward. Hop an email. And so real quick, the last email from Jennifer, I put a couple notes here because there was the last email from Jennifer. She said, and I really appreciate it. She said it makes weird paranormal stuff seem less intimidating than other shows. Just the way we talk about it and the way we address it. And I just wanted to say, I've gotten a few emails about that, and I thought that everybody here would enjoy to hear that us just bullshitting makes it less intimidating because I guess that when they go to listen to these other shows, they don't feel like they're as welcoming or whatever. So
I've listened
That's
to a
kinda
couple and they
nice.
feel very formal,
Really?
and they feel like so organized and scripted that.
you mean you've been cheating on us?
No,
All right. Well, we're going straight to fucking therapy.
But
Oh no! Don't try to make it better now.
but I think for ours, like we have a loose agenda that sometimes we get to, sometimes we don't, and we get down into the weeds.
That's a nice way to put it.
I want it to feel like when you listen to our podcast that you're kind of like just
Hanging out.
sitting in on a
Chilling.
conversation.
Yeah,
with
you're
us.
hanging out with us.
And we don't take ourselves, I don't think, serious. Like that seriously.
No,
Speak
not at
for
all.
your-
And like when you are on chat, I want you to feel like you're
Skeeter.
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would drink number 7 just for its name, Skeeter. Skeeter Patrol.
Skeeter
all my
Patrol
feet.
Munich Dunkel.
I
That's
don't
a
know what it
dunkel.
is, but I want that.
Number
Coffee
1.
Crumble vanilla ale.
So here we are. Shout out to
Two tones. Uncle Joe's Irish Red Ale. I'm
Whitehall.
in.
Hey, Mr. Boggs,
Yeah.
we'll have to take a run out to the hall tomorrow and pick us up some bourbon.
Yeah. We'll go out and pick up some beer. We'll have it on the next podcast.
Oh, Sunday. We'll go Monday.
Oh yeah.
Bastards.
We'll have it on the next podcast regardless.
Yeah, I'm excited.
we'll
Thanks,
stop in.
Lloyd.
What was I doing?
You were
Speaking
talking
of-
about email. You were talking about.
Fucking informal.
Gonna
What
need
am
you to
what
get
am I
your
doing?
shit together.
There's words on this page I should read. So anyway, I've gotten a couple of those. I just want to say thank you very much to the folks that have chimed in on that. It's not something that we would like read on the show, because we're not just going to sit here but I sincerely appreciate that. Like we said before, I appreciate people just taking the time to email the show. Next up is Jerry with a G, which I thought was kind of cool. Jerry writes in and says, "Hey guys, I'm not sure I buy into this crystal stuff. It seems like the new pet rock craze our parents had years ago. How is a rock in my pocket supposed to fix my ills? I love you guys. The show is awesome, but this is one of the things I don't see as even possible or probable."
I feel you, Jerry.
Fair. I think that's 100% fair. And I was kind of on the same. I don't know. I was kind of on the same page until I got my amethyst.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people feel the same way that you do. And I was there before I started, delving into a lot of different alternative therapies.
Before you accepted the weird and took part in my cult.
So my husband had some like issues with pain and things. And I myself was troubled with like trying to sleep and like constantly feeling anxious. Mine was more anxiety and sleep issues that I was having. And my friend, she's like, "Well, you need to try some crystals." And I was like, okay. So she's the same person who got me into like oils and things. But she swore by these damn things. She'd come in and she's like, "Here, hold this. Here, try this one." And then I started noticing, like, and sensitive people can feel the difference between the vibrations of different stones, and you'll feel one that speaks to you. And so I started trying to use them.
I'm going to share that picture. You keep going.
And it started helping. So here's my rebuttal to that. You can get yourself a good chunk of amethyst, like this one. This one's a little bigger, but you can get yourself my go-to ones that I would say if you're like hesitant but think you might want to just check it out. Get yourself a rose quartz, an amethyst, and some selenite, and just see what happens. Carry them, cleanse them. Selenite will help that, and just see if it helps. And those, I recommend those because they're pretty inexpensive. They have a long list of healing attributes to them both. They're pretty versatile as far as their properties go, and you'd be out a couple dollars to try it. So I understand though, it does seem unusual, but let's talk about, like, even if you go back way back in history, people were using crystals in all sorts of ways in all different parts of the world. So Egyptians, a lot of the amulets that you see that they wear, they were crystals. Anywhere from tourmaline to turquoise to probably some citrine. And I think then if you go over and you look at like China, you'll see that they were using them. And if you look at the Greeks were using them. So to me, it's like we have to go back to finding what comes from the earth to help to heal us. And I'm not saying that's the end-all be-all, and especially as a person who's a nurse. But I think that there's more that we look to. Why would you believe that something is more healing that somebody designed in the lab than something that was created in our earth by the universe, whatever you think that universal is? That universal... I don't want to use the word God because people automatically think of organized religion, but it was created there to help heal us. Same thing with like herbs. Some people would jump and say that herbs are not as helpful as something that's created in the lab. But why would you think that way? That would be my question. Give it a try and see what you think.
And see what happens. I can say that recently I got turned on to kratom, and we've talked about this as a painkiller, anti-anxiety, and it's legit, and it's 100% natural. It's a ground up leaf, and it works. But I mean, the pharmaceutical companies want to sell you stuff, basically the same thing they've taken, processed to make cash on, when this is just as effective I can say for a fact, personal experience is just as effective. Why not give it a shot rather than get on these drugs and get into all that stuff? So, and it's not letting me share the picture of the stones. So I will share it on Instagram when we're done, but it's not letting me do it in the chat for some reason.
And I think that too, there's lots of different ways that you can use them. So if you're hesitant, just carrying something in your pocket, give it a try. There are some that you can put down into water and then make a tincture to drink. Please don't do that without doing your research. Again, some of them do have toxicity to them. Not everything is meant to be ingested, and some stones, when you put them down in water, will disintegrate or break down. So not suggesting that you just go out and put some crystals down in some water, start drinking stuff.
Or turn you blue.
So do some research, but there are some that can be used. There are some that they grind up into a very fine powder and put into ointments and things like that they apply topically. They're in a lot of our products that you probably don't even realize, as far as even into different types of creams, ointments. There are a lot of places that you probably don't realize. And again, I think when people think about it and think, oh, it's just a rock. Well, if you want to go back to like just do the quartz watch, that's an easy way to see how you can use it in a different way than it's more than just a rock.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, gold is just a rock. So, I mean...
And gold helps with pain and things, too.
Well, a lot of women would have you, like, convinced of that, so...
Yeah, and I think, just looking back, and our ancient healers used these things. They used them. They put them in tombs to protect from spirit. Now, I know that the way that we look at the spirit world and a lot of organized religions don't necessarily subscribe to all of that, but it was a protective measure, but I think what's interesting is that across different cultures, you'll find the same stones that were used for the same type of purposes or overarching healing.
Because they found out what would work and what wouldn't work. And it's like what we talked about last week. We talked about the way that people evolved differently but did the same shit. Like we had Mayan pyramids, we had Egyptian pyramids. They figure out this stuff independently of one another. So it's like, well, it has to have some type of... There's got to be some truth in there somewhere. So anyway, Jerry, I agree. I mean, I think it's, but without giving it a try, see if it works for you. We are not giving any medical advice here on Arch City Paranormal Podcast.
No, we're not.
We are not giving any medical advice whatsoever. However, give it a shot. See what you think.
Margot wants to know, when you say to cleanse them, do you mean like wash them daily? She's clueless about crystals, but wants to try.
Good question. So cleansing, what we're talking about is cleansing them from a energetic or vibrational feel. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So there's several different ways. And again, not all stones can be cleansed the same way, as far as some people do put them back into water or to earth, but be careful what you're getting wet, or heat, subjecting to heat, or natural elements even. Some people put them outside, which is a wonderful thing, but just make sure you're not putting them out where they're going to get snowed on, rained on.
Yeah, I get that text when there's a full moon. I don't. I get yelled at by the wife.
Rachel said, "Get your rocks. Go get them and put them outside."
Is it tonight's the full moon? Please don't tell me it was last night.
No, the full moon is done, gone.
Damn it!
It was like last weekend or something. I thought you were on that.
Sorry.
Great.
I was out of town.
Great.
Sorry.
Our shit's no longer any good.
But that's recharging. That's recharging it.
Well, I guarantee my amethyst needs recharged.
So some of them stay cleansed. So if you look at like a selenite is good for cleansing. It never needs cleansed. It takes care of that itself. So you can put something with selenite. You can cleanse with smoke. So I think using your
you could use this. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hold that up for the camera. You could use this to actually clean your other stones. Got you. Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
Or the energy in the room. Even you can put, a lot of people put that in their door, above their doorways.
Okay.
You can put it. If you work with somebody who is negative, you could probably put it in your office.
I
met you from me.
Oh.
all my drama.
I was like, wait a minute.
I've just had, poor Allison's had to hear about all my.
You're gonna go back to work and you're gonna find it like hidden.
Yes.
She does have. You have. What do you have on your?
Oh, my keyboard. It's you brought it. It's small. It's
not
black
Obsidian,
and shiny.
It's not obsidian. You have.
It's a beetle. It's a button. What is it?
Oh my gosh, it's very lightweight. It's totally leaving my brain right now. But anyhow, she does have that on her desk. But that's also to help, and some people get that actually from.
Is it hematite?
No.
Oh.
From using the computer a lot, they get that I don't know if it's EMF or not, but where there's just a lot of energy coming from our electrical devices.
Just the blue light from your screen can mess up your sleeping patterns, all kinds of stuff.
So it does help clearing in that. Now it's gonna drive me crazy. You know when something's like on the tip of your tongue?
It looks like.
It's not that. Keep going.
Always the best podcast.
So
this is the stuff that gets edited out. Scrolling.
Well, we have
cleansing. So smoke, sound, Reiki.
So if you just scream at them.
Yes.
Wash yourself!
Times.
I like that.
We'll have Poodle Reiki ours before she.
We
goes.
use but you use salt to cleanse yours.
You can use salt.
I use salt every night, but I feel
Yeah.
like when she Reikis, it's like a deep clean.
Right. There you
Salt
go.
gets me through until she can do it. So,
Fire away. So that was we talked about Jerry there. And then we had some questions from Margaret. We just keep up with chat. We'll bounce
Shungite.
back and forth.
What is it?
Shungite.
Shungite. So what's
Sorry.
shungite?
Shungite
Since we're on that.
It's a black stone. There again, a lot of them in the black you think of protecting from negative energies, protecting especially that energy that you're picking up from others, and
She did bring it to protect you from her.
damn it, it was to take on our. Where were we going? I forget. We were going somewhere that
She
I felt
told you it
like
was
had
like
some negative energy, maybe.
it was like
potentially.
low key for your anxiety, but it was really just to protect you from her shit.
So I feel
I'll
like
say it. I'm not scared.
I feel when we were going to a little private residence that I was worried about, I went and I talked to a friend of mine who's very much into crystals and has a much deeper knowledge of crystals than I do. And she's like, no, you have to take shungite. I feel it. You have to take shungite because there's something that's dark there. So
there you go.
Cool.
cleansing, but do we answer that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. What'd you have from chat? Anybody? Fire away.
Don't let people touch your crystals either. Like here, we're okay. We're gonna cleanse what everybody's done, but don't let if you're having something that you're gonna carry with you, you want it to have your energy and not someone else's. Or if you go and you buy something, please cleanse it before, like especially if you're gonna be wearing them, like bracelets and things like that. Cleanse them quickly before you use them. Or
Yeah, because they're gonna pick up other people's shit from people going through and.
if somebody has like really cool, good energy, and you're like, hell yeah, I like their vibe, and they're holding it, and you feel like you can transfer from that and take it, but otherwise, if you don't know what it's
What
got,
was
that's
this
okay.
big
Selenite?
selenite?
Yes.
Can you hold it back up? Because Debbie was just asking, and that's the one that cleanses.
Yes.
It's pretty
and
cool.
It, and
That's
it
pretty
never
cool
needs
looking.
cleansed itself. It just takes care of itself.
That's pretty sweet.
Clint would like to know where to go buy crystals.
Well, it depends on where you're at. If you do a Google search for metaphysical shops, I would highly encourage you to do a search of doing a local shop and ask where they're sourced from, and find somebody who specializes in that, like somebody who has like a new age store or Amazon. Sometimes you can get some legit stuff off of Amazon. However, you don't really know. I think sometimes you don't really know where it's coming from or where its origin is from. Etsy,
You're talking about bad vibes. Just going through the Amazon warehouse. I guarantee you, the fucker needs washed, deep cleaned when you get it.
So I don't mean that anything like that. Everything off that there would not be good, because I think there is. Some
I
good
do.
Stuff. But Etsy, you can find some really good, reputable crystal
not on
shops on Etsy. And as you're looking, you'll be amazed at like the price range. So I really want a rainbow lattice stone that, like, probably the size of a quarter is probably about $120. But I would rainbow lattice moonstone.
They're not all that expensive. Just so we say,
Sunstone. Sorry.
like I can say that they're not all that expensive. This is
No.
This is a particular stone you're
Check that
looking
out.
for.
Like,
That's
how does
pretty.
nature make that?
It reminds me a little bit of an opal.
I love
yeah,
that
I
ring.
wear.
That's sweet.
A lot.
This is really cool.
But you can find something that has a
Definitely
lot
hang
of.
on. I want to share a picture of that. So definitely hang on to.
That's my coveted stone that I would love to have someday.
That's pimp.
But
I like
you can
that.
find most of them between, like, especially if you're getting like a small palm stone or something to carry in your pocket. You can find something from
That is neat.
$1 to $3 range is
Yeah.
probably pretty average.
Yeah, like I mean, when we went, the last time we went, and we sort of went in there, and T was like, "Okay, I have this list," and T had a list of stuff she was buying, and I was like, "I needed some new stuff too."
Per poodle.
So we got
Because
like
she knew what it was for and sent us.
we basically bought a bag of gravel, polished gravel. We walked out of there
Not
with, and I
polished
think.
gravel.
I love all of them. I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying that's how big. If you can picture it, like we had a bag of stuff. I think we got out of there for $30.
You go in and
It's not as expensive as this, but you can look at these. I wish this is another time. I wish I could have the screen. Anyway, we're working on it. I apologize that we Google stuff and you guys can't see. But you can look at one of these and you can see. Now, I mean, I'm not sure $120. I'm not sure I'm in for $120, but you can see why this particular stone is definitely more expensive than, like, say,
it's $574.
Jesus. But I could definitely see why this particular stone is more expensive than, say, like my rose quartz or my amethyst that I love.
And it comes out of
Because
the
it's-
ground looking like that.
That is cool as hell.
Now, some of them you
That
will
is so
find
cool.
that
It
are
looks
heat-treated.
almost digital. Like it looks something like you'd see. I mean, like in a inside a computer. Super cool stuff.
Yeah. Google rainbow lattice sunstone. That's what you need to check
That is
it out.
badass.
Just get caught up in that. But some of them are heat treated or lab made.
Creative.
And some people feel like they will connect more with a raw stone, like the selenite or the tourmaline, or even this amethyst is raw, versus a polished stone like the moonstone I have here, or the angelite.
Watch your
Angelite,
mic.
yeah.
They can't hear you.
Or
There you go.
carnelian. So I personally think they both have the same properties, just kind of what speaks more to you. But go in and hold them. Go into a shop and Google like what your local shops are. Clint, if you're here local, I can send you some recommendations. Just places that I like to go. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but just places that I think are cool. And just hold them. See what feels like. Now, a lot of people, you'll hear them talk about Moldavite. They love Moldavite. Moldavite's one of the most coveted stones. It's probably one of the ones it's too much for me. I could never carry it. Now, I have a friend who wears Moldavite earrings.
Are you talking about the vibrations?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, you'll find a lot of Moldavite that's sold online that's absolutely fake. 100% fake. It's glass. But it is, they call it the Holy Grail stone. It's supposed to be your deepest mystical connecting stone. It connects you to the other dimensions, and you can only find it in a unique pocket of the world.
It says here that probably in southern Germany.
Yeah. I thought it was Russia, actually, but...
I mean, this is just this one picture on Google that we're looking at.
But yeah, so it's comes from out of space.
What?
But to me, I've held it, and I'm like,
It's too much for you.
Czechoslovakia. There you go.
So it's too much for you.
It's too much. I cannot handle it.
And it's the vibes off of it.
Yes.
It's not. It's not like a cost thing. It's like
Yes.
it's just too much. I got you.
And I have one of my special stones where every time I hold it, it's that feeling like you're going up the roller coaster. You're right at the peak, and your stomach comes up. Like every time I hold it, I get that.
This stuff.
Not that. That was too much. That I can't explain it. It just
Like,
makes
how
you
long
feel
did
like-
it take you to get that feeling? Like, you hold it, was it instant?
Probably like 45 seconds.
It's crazy.
Oh, I'm in. I want to try it.
So I can tell you who can let you hold one.
Okay. Fantastic.
But I have some that you'll just really connect with, and I go in and hold them. And then like even if you're looking at the container of little basket of whatever you're looking for, find one that like calls to you. I think it's important that you can be gifted stones, sure, and that's wonderful, and I gift people stones, but there's something about going and finding your own, about that what you
That's
connect
very
with.
true.
Like
That's
you can have a
very
basket
true.
in the same one, but like there's certain ones that I have a chevron amethyst that I carry, and it's my favorite one. And yeah, I have other amethysts, but it's not the same.
Mm-hmm. Like you'll go in, Clint, and they'll have, like you'll say, if you go in and you're looking for amethyst, like I have an amethyst for, it's for anxiety. And you'll go in and there's a basket of them. Like there's just, most places, I don't know how they'll do it, but most places you go in, they'll have a little basket of, and it's all amethyst, and there are, you can polish or the natural, like Rachel was talking about, and you can just look at them. And having, this is actually interesting that you say this, because I wanted it for my anxiety, but I never really made the connection of, holding one and like, oh, this is the right one for me. But that's what I did, is I picked one out. There was a flat one that I've since lost that hasn't come back to me, that I'm kind of upset about. But it was a flat one that I could put in my pocket and I could rub it. And that's what I did. Like when I got anxiety, I would rub that amethyst, and it was like, woosah. It was like, that's cool. Like that. And now hearing you say this, that was the one, it was just like what you're saying. That was the one that spoke to me or whatever and said, hey,
I'm your fucking rock. Take me.
what I mean? So it was like, okay, so I made a connection with that particular one. So
We've got a few folks that would like a list of where to buy them locally.
Sure.
So
if you
we'll
screenshot that or keep that. I can definitely get that.
if you want to hit us up real quick, sorry. If you go ahead and shoot us an email that you would like to know, I don't want to endorse anybody on the podcast, but Rachel will be happy to send over some folks to you. Shoot us an email. The email's up on the screen right now. Or if you're just listening, archcityparanormal@gmail.com. Shoot us an email that you would like someplace locally here in Columbus or wherever you're at. Maybe we can help you out if you're someplace else if you're listening right now. I just don't want to endorse anyone on the podcast.
So another thing too, like especially citrine. Citrine's one that I love, but citrine's a little bit more costly. So what you'll find is stores will sell, for example, a heat-treated amethyst. They'll heat it up really high, and it'll turn the same color as citrine, and they'll sell it as citrine, and you're paying a higher price,
premium
for something that
for fake ass.
Yeah. So just know who you're working with, and I don't think everyone does that intentionally. They probably buy it in batches, and it comes in, but you can tell. Like, go ahead and like just Google citrine versus a heat-treated amethyst, and you'll be able to see.
This is your amethyst here?
That's my chevron. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that didn't look like amethyst. That's why I was wondering. I'm not touching it.
No,
that's
I'm just
badass.
showing you. Like,
yeah,
how
that's
it's got the little
badass.
chevron looks.
Well, I don't want to give you my. You guys don't understand. There's squirrels up here.
But if you look at them side by side, like that first picture, like a true citrine will have that really deep. Yeah.
Oh, now that's interesting.
Yeah.
I've never been interested in citrine, but that's interesting to see them compared side by side like that.
You're doing great, sweetie.
You talking to me?
No, Allyson over there's she's fighting.
It's a Google machine.
Yeah.
Google machine.
So just things like that, like just that's why I say like making sure you know who you're buying it from, and there again, I think somebody who's not super into crystals and that's just a little pocket of their store of like trinkets or whatever, what have you, they may not even know that's what they bought. But
cool. So we got. We covered Clint's question, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So I'm going to move on to the next email, and then we'll get back to chat. Thank you guys for following along. We'll get right back to chat in just a second. You got something, T?
Well, don't forget people are wanting to be read as well.
Oh, do you want to jump into that? Let's jump into that.
Okay.
Let's do that. I'm sorry. We'll hold off on the email because we can answer emails. We can answer emails later on. They're not going anywhere. They're not waiting in line. So we'll go ahead and fire. If you want to email the show, you can. archcityparanormal@gmail.com. We'll go ahead and take the banner down, and we can have Rachel get into her stuff. We can have her get into your questions here. If you're having any trouble in the chat, people hitting you up or whatever, shoot me a message or whatever, and I can see if I can go ahead and get rid of them. We'll get better about moderating the chat. I should already been on that. I apologize.
Now that I've figured out how to do it,
It's moderated.
we're good.
Did it continue
Okay.
to happen?
What?
Did it continue to happen?
No.
Okay.
We haven't had any since.
Okay. All right, cool. So we're not getting, so nobody else is in chat. If you are getting any of those messages, shoot any one of us a message and let us know. We'll get them banned from the page. I sincerely apologize for that. It's not why you guys signed up or whatever. It's just one of those things where, I don't know, I didn't have the forethought to think somebody would know. I'm flattered that they would, but I didn't think somebody would come in and try to hijack stuff, so I apologize. But I'll go ahead and take the banner down. If you got any questions, artcityparanormal@gmail.com. If you want someplace you can go buy crystals, shoot us an email just the same, artcityparanormal@gmail.com. Or you can show up here at 6 p.m. on Saturdays. You can ask your questions there. Go ahead and take the banner down.
So what? Our first question was from Mary.
Fire away, Mary.
Said she would love to know if her parents who passed have anything to tell her.
So, Mary, I feel like they pass pretty close together in proximity of timeline. Because it feels like you were kind of overwhelmed with this situation. It felt like things kind of just piled on. That you had multiple things going on at the same time. Now, you had I don't want to call it a disagreement, but there was something that was pretty deep conversation, perhaps with your dad before his passing. And I don't even want to call it a disagreement, but just something that felt, he wasn't one who necessarily shared a lot of emotion. Wasn't necessarily somebody who would have normally had this kind of deep conversation, so it felt meaningful. And I think just the message that I almost keep hearing that you were right. You were right about that. And in fact, the light bulb card just came up and as I was shuffling my cards here, and to me that feels like it was a good idea. You had something that was a good idea, or you've come up with something recently that's a good idea that he very much approves of. Now your mom stays close to you. I feel that there are times where you have almost felt a physical touch and you've wondered, like, what was that? Like, you've dismissed it, but I feel like that she comes close and she visits you in the physical presence. So just know that when you're feeling that's real, and that she's there and she's close. I don't know if she's still
We
on.
good?
I just didn't know if you were getting anything else.
Yeah, like I even muted my mic because I know sometimes I interrupt and people get mad at me.
Facts. Chatty Cathy.
So I even muted my mic because I didn't want to hop in, and if we answer questions, if she's still in chat, she has some follow ups. I mean, I want to make sure.
Nothing yet.
Okay.
Can we talk? Okay.
No, you go ahead.
No, you do whatever you want.
So, Shanta, is that her name? Mm-hmm. So, she had reached out last time. I think we missed her, but I did have a message for her. So I'm hoping that she hears this. She was asking about the connection with her grandmother. And I don't know, remember she had a specific question or was just concerned about or questioning, about her grandma. So with her, I feel like you were very close with her, that she was more of a motherly figure. I see her as a very spiritual woman. She keeps showing me, and I don't even know if it was necessarily religious, but deeply spiritual. And she said that she's passed, you also have that same connection that she did. And at the time of her passing, perhaps you weren't physically there. And she said, but know that she knows that you were there with her. That you talk to her sometimes and she hears you. And I'm seeing a suitcase, which to me is the symbol now for if you've transitioned, you're having some kind of change. Did you move? I feel like you were somewhere and then now you have relocated, or you're you're having some type of transition, whether that, I feel like it's an actual physical move. Like you've moved from one state and went back, quote, home. And then are you considering doing something different with your career? Because she wants to know that she approves on the decisions that you're making. If you're thinking about changing your direction, are you a student? Maybe you're thinking about changing and trying something different or going back to school. But she hears you when you're talking to her and she's at peace.
Is she in the chat?
Not that I've seen her name pop up.
Oh, that sucks.
But last time she watched afterwards too.
She watched afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So any follow-ups there? I mean, shoot us an email just like you did last time. So I mean, I'll do the best I can for it. It's kind of convoluted, but I'll shoot a text. I'll send a whatever. We'll get you because it was important enough that that's actually what brought this up for us today. Was that it was important enough to Rachel to get this response to you. What was her name? I apologize.
Shanta?
Yes, and I feel like, I feel like her concern was that she wasn't physically there when her grandmother passed, but her grandmother said you weren't supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, it was. So I mean, I appreciate that. It's important to me to get you that info because it was important enough we weren't even supposed to do this. It was supposed to. We were supposed to talk about crystals, and I was supposed to talk about blue people and silver, and then we ended up doing this stuff. So it was important enough for us to get on that. Rachel said that she would agree to do readings for anybody else that was in chat as well because she wanted to cover this. So reach back out to us if you have any further questions, Shanta. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate everybody in chat that's lining up and asking questions too. So we're good there. We got more questions?
Yeah, Deborah.
Okay.
Earlier said she's been told her father is around her. Can you tell me what he needs?
So Deborah, I'm not sure that he needs anything. I think that you were always his pride and joy. And he just really he's not ready to let go of the experience of just witnessing what's going on with you. So it's not that he's lacking or not transitioning because there's something that needs resolved. He just wants us to be close. And I'm getting I was writing here, like, I'm getting the word a candle. Did you have some type of special candlelight service when he passed, or some type of you burning candles? Or I feel like there's a connection with the candle there with him. And when he passed, I feel like I don't ever want to use the word timely, but it wasn't necessarily unexpected, but it wasn't necessarily making that easier. And he understands that. And are you working on something kind of like with woodworking project? Are you doing some type of renovation or something with woodworking? Does that resonate with you? Maybe you're building something.
When you get that stuff, you say that you get like pictures, almost like the only experience I've ever had with it. It's almost been like somebody's holding up a flashcard. Like, here's this. So how to hopefully let her answer. So I'm just trying to buy some time. If she answers, just interrupt me, Allyson, or T.
Okay.
Just interrupt me.
No problem. Be a nice change of pace.
Anyway,
Don't you think it'd be great, Allyson,
but you get flashcards
for us to actually interrupt
At
him
least
for a
let
change?
me finish the thought, then you can interrupt me.
You say it's like a flashcard. That was the only thing I could relate it to. When I had any kind of experience like that, there was one particular investigation that we went on that I felt like something was fucking with me. And that was the picture. That's what I got. It was like holding up flashcards, like, fuck with you. So is that what you see? You see this picture and then you interpret it? Is that how that goes?
Yes.
And if this is messing you up from whatever you need to do, tell me to fuck off.
No.
Okay.
It does come across that way often, but I'm also hearing conversation. I'm hearing message. I'm hearing, again, getting the essence of the person, and then it'll flip through. So I feel like I get more of that flashcard sensation when you're walking into an area and you're not necessarily doing it for a sitter. You'll just get like they show you like quick pictures of.
So when we're on an investigation,
it'll be like it's almost like a, not quite as fast, but like a cartoon book. You know, like you're flipping through and they'll just show you like, boom, 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 boom.
Gotcha.
And trying to make sense of what that means. And so it's hard too in this format because I'm not able to get feedback on like. Does that resonate with you? Can you understand that?
Yeah, because you're not sitting across from the person.
Because sometimes I get the message in the way that makes sense to me, but it may not be the symbol of something that makes sense to you.
Okay.
And as I'm sitting here, like saying that, I'm very curious. The first message, if it's not a crossover from somebody trying to connect with Allyson.
What?
Keep going.
Because the more
Feed me, Seymour.
I'm just wondering because it was the relatively close proximity, that kind of thing adding up. I'm just wondering if it wasn't just a little bit of what they call like a piggybacking.
Oh, like somebody for me
Yes.
is coming in on this person's person.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're not supposed to, but you're welcome to share anything you get
Yeah. So
for my people.
Yeah, I think sometimes that happens too if somebody else is kind of stepping forward. Because again, it's almost like if you stick your arm out and like if you were passing by, like you remember like when you were a kid and you'd take your arm out and you'd like hit the like things as you pass, like in a library, you'd hit the books or like the lockers.
I still do that.
So it feels like almost like a spirit, like you're just tapping into these different energy that's coming in. And again, for me, again, everyone works a little differently, but on the right side, like it just is like boom, 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 boom. And almost like waiting in line. Then sometimes I feel like you can be picking up on somebody else. Like it could be somebody else that's waiting on a question. Because I get some like random shit that pops
Yeah, I noticed you grabbed your notebook and was just like writing stuff down.
So it just, which is something I've always done. And then I realized after I did some development work with Lisa Williams that she actually recommends. She said that's kind of like getting that stream of thought going. And sometimes it helps to get things kind of put in and just trying to figure out who it goes to.
Did we have a follow-up? Did she follow up?
No. Not yet.
So the one experience I had with that was we were actually going to an investigation. I won't get into specifics, but days before, and Rachel had mentioned something about she had experiences like this. Days before, I felt like there was something there that was just trying to like get me. Like that wasn't like, and when I say get me, I don't personally, I have not had an experience of anything like being possessed or anything like that. And I'm not sure I'm one that buys into that. But I have figured out through time now that we've done this that I am a little bit sensitive in particular areas. I pick up on certain stuff. Maybe I have certain feelings or whatever. Not to the degree that Rachel does, but I can pick up the vibes in an area like, oh, wait, hey, man, maybe we need to hang out here for a minute or something. Leading up to this particular investigation, I was just getting these random pictures for no reason of events in my life that were particularly traumatic.
So when you got the flash of, was it Gage?
It was
one of the dogs.
It was Gage. It was my dad. It was my grandfather. And it wasn't pictures of us like in good times. It was them dead is what they were. And it was these pictures that were flashing up for me. And that's the only time, unfortunately, I guess, or fortunately, I guess, however you want to look at it, was the only time that I had experienced anything like that. And it felt particular, like we were going to this location and whatever was there had decided, okay, you're the leader here. I'm coming after you. And I got those pictures and that's just what it felt like. It felt like somebody was just like, oh yeah, fuck you. What do you think of that? Oh, how about this? Fuck you.
Yeah.
They're just looking for something to like trigger me. So I guess that's the only thing I can relate to.
And I almost wonder
like
if they
what
were
you're
trying to
talking about.
If they were trying to show a way for you to connect with the pain that was there, like something that was painful.
I've never. Oh, I mean, I don't get too much into my bullshit, but I've never dealt with it. T can tell you, I'm just like, yeah, I'll rub my stone. I'll fucking drink a beer. I'll have a podcast. I have no desire whatsoever. Never happened. It's in a box somewhere locked up. It's not.
Captain
So no,
Avoidance.
I do not. Yeah, I avoid
You
it.
compartmentalize.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I play Xbox, whatever. Doesn't matter. So, So I do feel like that was part of it. That was the only experience I've had of that, is like that flashcard thing. Like, what do you think? Fuck you. What about fuck you? Like,
and I truly believe that everyone is capable of tapping into that energy. Just some people it comes easier than others, and I would just describe it as like I think everybody could learn to hit a golf ball, but some of us are going to go up and take a swing and do it beautifully.
Right.
And others are going to take a lot of practice and lessons.
some folks are going to be Tiger Woods. Some folks are going to be Kyle.
But everybody has that potential. I 100% believe that. Whether it's just being open and getting yourself deeply rooted and grounded at the same time as being allowing yourself to be open. And that's a difficult thing to be both at both ends. And I think a lot of times I live up in the ether. I'm just up there. You've heard me say that before. So I have to be careful that I don't just get carried away. And I think that's just my natural state. So I think that's why this comes easier, because I'm just always really close to that bubble, just popping in and out of it. Where a lot of times I have to work on, instead of opening up and trying to connect, I have to work on the other side of keeping myself grounded, keeping myself here in the now, and keeping myself.
You got to try to. You have to like work at being a normie.
Yeah.
I call them normies.
Yes.
You have to work at being a normie, where we're all weird. Probably everybody watching is weird as well, to varying degrees.
Weird is fun.
Weird is the best.
Yeah.
Weird is absolutely the best. Accept you're weird. Love your weird. But anyway, I didn't want to hijack anything.
No.
We got stuff. We got
Mary,
stuff in chat.
Yes.
Mary commented.
Oh, perfect.
I just said, I think you're right on that, because I only have my mom passed. So only her mom has passed.
So did she have a recent discussion, I'm wondering, with her
Dad.
about something that was heavier?
Hopefully she's still watching.
Yeah, if you have any questions or whatever, just, hop in the chat there. Type them in the chat. We'll get to you.
Well, we have them.
Okay, good.
Good.
So Kathy would like to know
Fire away.
if her mom or dad or both are with her.
So I feel like they've maybe been passed for quite some time.
Yes.
So there was a time, I feel like earlier on, where you had experience that you had them close, and I feel like that was a little bit scary. So yes, but not. They stay a little bit more distance because of a fear of making you fearful. Does somebody have a pocket watch? Is there an importance with a pocket watch that's been handed down? It could also be the symbol of time, but I'm feeling it's pretty specific to a pocket watch.
Yes.
Okay, so the pocket watch, was that recently handed down, or you're considering giving it to someone else? Is that like a gift for I feel like almost like somebody's saving it for when somebody gets married, that they want them to carry that, or maybe somebody carried it at your wedding. But it's okay whatever you want to do with the pocket watch. It's approved. I feel like this is pretty I feel like they're pretty formal.
On there,
pretty both of them feel pretty proper. I don't mean that in a negative way. They're just more serious, both of them. They kind of always in tandem, like finishing each other's sentences, because they were they together for a really long time, or that was like their only love. They've been together since they were young, and so they kind of knew each other inside and out and finished each other's sentences.
You're not picking up on her parents. You're picking up on her husband's parents.
Oh.
It slid. The pocket watch
Okay.
is actually his.
Has it been handed down?
Yes.
And are you saving it to give if Juice were to get married?
I don't know. He has no idea what's going on, dude.
I don't have a clue.
Kathy.
I'm just participating.
Right. The pocket watch.
Uh-huh.
It's Greg's.
Okay.
Yeah. It started off, and then it switched over to...
Oh, okay.
But where did he get the pocket watch?
I think he got it from George.
Is that his father?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to explain where that's...
Okay.
I was trying not to give her a whole lot. I didn't know what
Okay.
she wanted.
And did he have a trade where I feel like no, this is her parents. They some type of I'm seeing rough hands, like was physical labor
Yes.
of some type, and was one of those kind of meat and potato, old fashioned type of gentleman.
Let her answer.
I'm going to.
And I don't mean him to be super traditional, but what I mean by that is like when you picture, in my mind, what I'm seeing is like Leave It to Beaver. Like you see like that classic guy goes out, he's working really hard, comes home, and then has his routine. He was very regimented in a routine. Like I get up and this is what I do in the morning, and then I go to work and I come home and I do this, and like something in his day being messed up would have really messed up his whole vibe. That wouldn't have gone well.
I don't know. I don't have an answer, so
Okay.
I don't know.
So the gentleman that owned the pocket watch initially, I feel like he's probably the closest. I'm getting names confused here.
That would make sense.
More recently passed,
Yes.
and still has a lot of attachment earthbound. And I don't mean that as unsettled energy. Just it's new, and I feel like he's the closest one that hangs out.
I'm peeking
Kind of
at her
reserves.
notes. And because I
It says
understand
April
what's going on.
17th. The number 4 and the number 17th, is that significant?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have that here.
That's exactly what I just looked at. I was like,
Holy shit. Yeah.
oh.
Okay. So that, that came through as like a very significant date. And it just, like, I just feel like there should be some type, you need to celebrate on that day in some way.
So go ahead and, I mean, people in the chat are probably not keeping up with this. So what I can I'll go ahead and I'll do it. So Kathy is my mother-in-law. And what Rachel is picking up on,
Who I've never met. By the way.
which
No,
she's
never
never,
met.
Rachel's never met. But she is picking up on my father-in-law and the pocket watch, etc.
He's still alive.
Which,
Yeah.
my father-in-law is still alive, but his dad has recently passed on. And I don't know anything particular about the pocket watch, but what I looked over and found really, really interesting is that April 17th is Greg's birthday, which is my father-in-law.
Okay.
So we should celebrate on that day.
Yes.
So again, I hate to be Rachel fanboy like I was on the last show, but again, Rachel picking up on this stuff is just,
I don't know. Do you want to hold that up for?
it's legit. Like, look, I don't know if you can read it. I don't know if I can get in there and see
Hang
it.
on, you hold it up there and I'll let you know what it looks like in about 10 seconds.
For the delay.
You can't see it. I'll take a picture. Let me take a picture of it, and you guys can all watch me take the picture. But yeah. So she wrote down 417. I looked across to Allison. Allison had no idea what I was doing, but I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, I do appreciate the name written in the margin, I believe.
Kathy?
Well, she asked the question,
Yeah.
so
I just read
Oh, I thought maybe you had, like, it just came
that
to you.
wasn't. No, that would have
Okay.
been. That
I
would
was
have
trying
been.
to keep. I was trying.
That would have been
keep
like another level of cool.
Yeah.
But this is pretty fucking interesting itself. So that is weird. That is #weird. So anyway, continue on. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this beer.
So, his dad has been gone 3 months.
Okay.
Her parents have been gone 50 some odd years.
Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. I'm just curious if she ever felt like, right after they passed, if she felt like she had experiences when they were close and that kind of freaked her out. And if are they more formal, finishing each other's sentences type of people?
Hers, no. His, yes.
Okay. So they're kind of talking about each other. That happens sometimes. Sometimes when they come across because they're like, oh, they're gonna totally get it if we come in together. It's let's really hit this home.
And Mary, who you read earlier,
Mm-hmm.
she said that she had an argument with her mother before she passed.
Because the message was is it's okay that you were right, and I don't know if there was a right or wrong, but they felt like whatever that was, that you had actually good idea. You had a good idea. Or at least that's what I think of the light bulb, or you were being smart about something. So I think that I don't know if that's bothered you that you've had that argument, but I feel like they're validating that it's okay, that it's not something that is still lingering. They feel like that's been over, and that you were right in some capacity.
You carry this. I'm doing this over here.
Yep. Are you getting anything else?
Who's a Yankees fan? I have somebody who we've talked to, because I just got the sporting event and Yankees, and I'm seeing like a popcorn container, like somebody that was the way of bonding, watching baseball.
I went to a Yankees game.
You did?
Well, it was when after the Yankees won the World Series in '96, they came and played Columbus Clippers.
Did you go with Keith?
I skipped school half a day with my parents' permission to go. Oh, Girardi was still catching for them. But that's the only... Hell, I don't think Dad was a Yankees fan. But he would go to Clippers games with me.
Well, that's what I first saw, was the sporting event and connecting, and then I'm getting a Yankee.
I'll let you do your thing and before we do another question.
Trying to find that.
I'm ready whenever you...
Okay. I took care of it.
Okay.
So Frances is asking, her mother wants her to return her dad's ashes to her, and I don't think that's a good idea. What does he want?
Oh, that's the one with the cool gas tank urn.
Cool. I could weigh in on that.
I'm hearing now is stay put. So I would say wherever they are now, it needs to stay put. He's also very clear though that like that's the physical body, and that's not him. Like his spirit is very separate from that, and he's everywhere. He said, I go everywhere. You know how I am. I'm just going to roll. And so I think I don't know if you currently have possession. I know we talked about on the last podcast the coolness of the urn itself, but
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm up to speed now.
I
knew that.
literally just...
I didn't. Well, I was distracted over here. I apologize because I'm worried about our viewers having to deal with these idiots.
I'm on it.
Okay.
Are they back?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, another one popped in, but that's been just the other one.
So I think they stay put, and just realizing the separation of, cause is she the one who didn't like the whole ideology of doing something unconventional in the first place? Or did she have some judgment about that? But I would say that, that's nothing to bicker over. And I don't use the word bicker, so I don't know if that's his word or something.
She did say that's really perfect. I do have his ashes. I didn't want to let him go because I feel like he's home.
Yeah, I would let it be.
So I can tell you, I'll just chime in here anyway because I've had a couple beers. Not mediumship or whatever anyway. From personal experience, you decide that shit. don't worry about what anybody else is telling you. From speaking 100% personally, you're going to have other people tell you what you should do, or whatever you feel is right is exactly what is right. 100%. Now your dad may be coming through Rachel and telling you something completely different, but what I can tell you from my personal experience, whatever you feel is correct is correct. End of conversation. So tell mom to do whatever you want to tell mom to do, but whatever you feel is right is what's right.
And then Sarah did comment. She said, yeah, she doesn't like me. And that is totally his type of word.
So there you go. There you go. Cool.
And then Margot wants to know, do you have any messages for her?
So I'm wondering, Margot, can you connect with a fish tank? Fish? Are you caring for, or did you have? And so I'm also getting the word carnival. So I'm almost wondering, like, did you win a fish at a carnival? Okay. All right.
She say no.
No, I said I did.
Oh.
All right. So this is getting some interesting stuff here. And I know that we talked to Margot last time. I don't remember.
Correct.
Oh yeah. Margot's a
Devout supporter.
Yeah, long-time viewer.
You have something tomorrow that's planned, Margot, that you are feeling. You had some question or not whether or not you should go. I feel like this is pertaining to the holiday, and are you? I don't feel like you're hosting. I feel like you're going somewhere, and you had some hesitation whether or not you should go. And I'm hearing an adamant, like, you need to do it. You need to go and be with people. Are you, for some reason, not wanting to be around other people tomorrow?
Oh, I can totally relate with that.
I'm hearing that you should be going and enjoying yourself. That have you been spending a lot of time at home by yourself? I mean, I know we're quarantined, so that kind of feels like it resonates with everyone, but maybe
yeah, there's not much insight there.
maybe
We got a lot of faith in you, but you've been staying home a lot. Have you been wearing a mask? Sorry.
No, but I
Sorry.
feel like it's beyond that. Like, you don't even really want to take someone's phone calls. You're really not necessarily into connecting with others, and you need to do that.
Just waiting on her reply.
Okay. If you want to email the show, you can. artcityparanormal@gmail.com. We take all kinds of questions. You can ask about crystals. I've got a bunch of other ones here for crystals as well. And you can participate in another show. So if you got a question, anything regarding the paranormal or whatever, shoot us an email, or you can chime in the chat. Watch us Saturdays at 6 p.m. Or if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, go to your favorite podcast app. Everybody listens to a podcast. Search for Arch City Paranormal. We'll come up. Go ahead and follow. Make sure you turn your notifications on because I want you to pay for it now.
Margot has a koi pond.
Oh, cool.
Are you trying to bring it back right now, or are there actually fish in it? Because I seen what this connected was, the word above it I have is transformation, like trying to bring some type of change to it. And when I think about transformation in fish, you're thinking about trying to go upstream, like you feel like your journey is, I mean, I'm going to get a little metaphoric here, like, so you're trying to do something that feels a little bit difficult, like you're kind of fighting against the grain, but you need to do it. That's what I'm feeling like there's some kind of hesitation for her.
Like there's something she knows, kind of like she knows she wants to do, but she's kind of like,
Or maybe needs to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's kind of hard when you just feel like you want to stay put. And I think there again, like, where it connects with everybody, like quarantine, like it's kind of even made myself like, yeah, I just don't want to fucking talk to anybody.
It's the last one.
What? I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm about to be better.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you not going to have one?
I had a bit of one.
Do you want it?
Nope. Thank you, though.
Fine with me. We'll get the host drunk. Fantastic.
Okay.
So where are we at in the chat? We good?
Yeah.
It looks like so far we've answered everybody's questions. And
Okay,
we're just
cool.
waiting on a response from Margot.
Okay,
So we
cool.
want to do an email?
Sure. So I've got Marsha. Marsha writes in and she says, "Hi guys, I love the show. I have a friend that carries crystals and suggested Celestite. Does that sound right? Celestite for my anxiety. I trust her, but wondering what your thoughts are. I'm going to get some this week. I've Googled it and it seems like there may be better ones. I guess maybe there's better. So I went ahead and I Googled Celestite and it's found in Madagascar and Sicily. So I guess islands.
I'm wondering why she's carrying it. Like, what's she looking to resolve?
She said for anxiety. She
For
suggested Celestite for my anxiety, which I thought Amethyst, but I'm not. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But Madagascar and Sicily is where it's found. Like I said, I did some real preliminary, and it forms in geodes, which I think
I actually
are super
have some
cool.
of this at home. It is a nice stone. It does have a calming component to it. I think it's a good choice, but if you're looking for something, I don't know that I've ever seen it polished, and that's not to say that it doesn't come that way. But I actually have it in the geode form, and then I have it in a.
You can't rub it.
So if you're wanting to carry it with you, that's why I'm thinking like haven't seen it polished. Maybe it does.
Celestine. Okay, maybe that's what. Maybe it's a typo. Celestite's what she gave me because I thought a stalactite. Sorry, I don't want to get off.
Stalagmites. Like,
I'm into a couple beers, so everybody just tell me you can tell me to shut up. But Celestite is what she typed because I just copy and paste these. Anyway, go ahead.
It does
Sorry.
exist.
Go ahead.
so yeah, I mean,
Go
I
ahead.
don't know
I'm
that
sorry.
Are there I guess there are some palm stones there.
They're expensive.
So it is. I can just speak from what I have. It is calming. It is comforting. I will 100% say added amethyst to it. I mean, as
I
you
can
can tell,
co-sign that.
it's like one of my faves. I don't know. I probably have.
You're kind of dumb when it comes to
200.
amethyst. Yeah, it's kind of
I probably have 200 types of stones at home, but I stick to a lot of basics, and I think that's why they're so popular is because they work so well. So yeah, I mean, I think you can give that a try, but I would encourage an amethyst as well.
That was my first thought too, but I don't know anything.
I think you should sleep with it too, like put it.
Take her
on
out
your
to dinner first. Jeez, what do you? Jeez,
if you have
jeez, man, just go right in, I guess, huh?
if you
Good
have one of these in the
Lord.
geode form, put it on your
Start an
nightstand.
OnlyFans, something, you know.
Start
No commit.
catch up, bro.
Just gotta drink my beer and shut up now. I'm no longer helping with the punchlines.
Put it on your nightstand, and then maybe try putting a couple pieces in your pillow. They sell like these little crystal infused pillows, but if you wanted to put them like down inside of a sock and put it down in your pillowcase, I think that it can be pretty magical.
What would you recommend for sleep?
I think a lot of things in the angelite, like a lot of things that are in the solidite, lapis. I think a lot of the things in the blue realm are nice. I'd try some lapis, maybe some solidite. I think those are both pretty calming.
When I first read this, I thought when she said anxiety, I immediately was like, "Oh, it's amethyst," like because that's totally worked for me. Now I don't know if it's the mechanics of because when I get stressed out, I had it in my pocket. I carry it in my pocket even when I'm here at the house now. Like during the day, like I don't have it right now, of course, but just like rubbing it. And I don't know if it was the mechanics of
The act?
right,
Yeah.
of rubbing it, or if it was, but what it did fucking worked. So whatever, right? You know what I mean? So when she said this stuff, which I had never heard of before, but I you guys did, I Googled it. I thought, well, this is a good question because I don't necessarily agree with it, but I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So
I think it's definitely calming. I just
not your first.
it wouldn't be my go-to.
Not your first draft pick. Gotcha. So there you go. Thank you, Marsha, for writing in. I think we covered it.
I think solidite's a good choice.
I'm going to get some this week. So go ahead and try your Celestite. That's what Rachel's saying. However, you might want to look at Amethyst. Cool. We got any questions in the chat? You want me to move on with the email?
Nothing currently.
Okay, cool. So we'll move on with the email. Marina writes in, if you'd like to email the show, you can. Let me go run through that real quick. archcityparanormal@gmail.com. I'll put it back up on the screen. Or maybe not. There it is. archcityparanormal@gmail.com. Shoot us an email. We would love to hear from you. You guys are what makes the show go. Marina writes in. Marina says, hello, folks. I'm hoping my question gets in time for the crystal topic you discussed. Well, here you go. Why do crystals work? This is what we covered a little bit earlier. Why do crystals work? Is there a science to it at all, or is it a faith like religion? I'm very interested in seeing if we can experiment somehow, see if there's applicable results. Your podcast is in my top 5 faves. Please keep having fun and letting us listen. Thanks, Marina. That was nice. So we covered that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I think if you want to test it, do a blind test for yourself. Take some and, without knowing what it is, have somebody hand it to you and see if you feel to notice the difference between stones.
Some gravel out of your driveway.
Yeah.
No, they did it to me one time. Her and Tinto Bean did it.
Yeah.
They
Well,
didn't
no,
tell me
tell that story. I've not even heard this story. Fire
Yeah,
away.
I
Go
walked
ahead.
back into the office. It was her and
Fire
Tinto
away.
Bean.
Let's hear that story.
And I was like, what are you guys doing? And Poodle's like, just
We're
hold this.
licking rocks. Here, have a taste.
And she's like, just hold it. Just sit there and just hold it. I was like, okay. And I sat there and held it for what, like a minute, maybe? And she's like, tell me how you feel. So I told her exactly how I felt. And it was exactly the same way Poodle felt, which is the same exact way Tinto Bean felt. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is that? Describe it a little more. I mean, expound a little bit
I
on
don't
that.
remember what it was anymore. I think it was...
What doesn't need to be the particular rock? Just what did you feel when you grabbed a hold of this, and you consider yourself you have no abilities whatsoever. We've heard you and Allyson talk about it more than
Oh,
once.
we suck.
We sucked.
Yeah, like we just show up and I look at my shoes and all that. But what did you feel when you held on to this particular rock? Doesn't matter what kind it was. When you held on to this rock, what did you feel? What is that? Describe it.
So when they handed it to me, and I sat down and they handed it to me, originally I thought, they cray. And, Poodle's like...
Which
just
is exactly what T would say.
Yeah.
You out of your mind. So I have things to do.
I got shit to do. So I just sat there, and they were like, no, just sit there for a second and just concentrate on the rock. I was like, okay. And it was very calming, and it was like a weird... Like you could feel a hum. I don't know how else to explain it.
The vibration.
Yeah, you could feel the vibration of it. It was really weird.
That's a
Come on,
very
feel
good
it,
description.
Feel it.
That's a very good
Marky
description.
Mark.
Come on.
Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet.
We
West
haven't
Broad
sang
Street.
in a podcast in a while.
Good vibrations. Bum, bum, bum. I really hope the camera caught all of that.
I'll tell you here in a couple seconds,
Yeah,
little
good
delay.
point. Hang on.
On West Broad Street in Columbus, Ohio. Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet. So, but even
both sitting here
as
watching
someone,
It did. There it is.
so even as someone that you consider yourself not gifted, which I think I happen to disagree with, because I think there is stuff that you pick up on when we're at some place that you've picked up on before. Mike and I have had those conversations where it's like T calls it getting scared, but I actually think it's T being sensitive to the environment.
Oh, that she's feeling like,
Yeah.
hey, we should hang out in this room.
Yeah,
or
Mike
what
and I,
have you.
Mike and I have had
I can
those,
see that.
Yeah, Mike and I have had those discussions before. But you're talking about where you feel like you don't have any gifts whatsoever. You were able to hold on to this rock, which like Jerry before was talking about, is just some rock, pet rock like our grandparents or parents had. And you were able to tell the difference between that and something else. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear.
So we like it when T gets scared, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Dude,
No,
it's
no.
look, the whole thing with us sending her off by herself and her being scared and all that stuff. It's not just for like video like likes on Facebook or whatever. I mean, it's legit. We want to have that experience. So it's scientific, babe. Really, it's scientific, and we appreciate you
Yeah,
for real.
I'm bait.
So thank you, Marsha, for writing it. So do we have anything else from chat before I move on? Okay, cool. they're just watching now. They're like, just what the hell
Well,
is going
Mary
on?
said she doesn't think chat's working. So
It did pop up on the screen after she posted that.
I mean, I see chat. I just glancing over here. I mean, I see chat right now.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, granted, it was a few minutes between comments. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are we having like a lag?
I mean, there is, the delay, but
I mean, we can wait. I mean, believe me, I can dance.
yeah, and yours just popped up. So
Did it?
that
Okay.
chat's working. The overlay
Okay.
or whatnot, that's working.
Yeah, I asked her if there was a question that we didn't catch or
Okay.
that didn't post.
So anyway, make sure you head over to Podchaser, podchaser.com. Give us a rating there. Only 5-star ratings. Don't mess with me. But head over there and you can find some other podcasts that are kind of like ours. And then also remember that we're your archived videos, if you're watching this right now, as of May 1st, we're going to move these to YouTube. So head over to YouTube and give us a subscribe. But what we'll do is we'll leave it up for the weekend. So like we come on Saturday night, I'll leave it up until Monday. But they will eventually move to strictly YouTube. So you want to head over there. So we're having the crystals discussion. And,
Francis has a question.
okay, cool. Fire
go.
away, please.
She says, I am curious if my dad got to see his dad when he passed. He was stabbed to death before I was born, so I never got to meet my grandfather.
Yes, and I'm a believer that people are there to welcome you to the other side, to kind of show you. I don't want to say show you the ropes, but that's the words that came to my mind. Yeah, people come together and they welcome each other with love, and I feel like for sure they were there together. And I'm curious to know if there's something though that's going on with you with around a key. I'm saying, like, it's funny because I was seeing it earlier, and then the skeleton key, and then this card came up with the key on it, so I felt like I needed to say it. Sometimes it can be a lesson learned, and like putting the key into the lock, like what have you learned from a situation, and opening opportunities to new things. But I feel like for whatever reason they're together, but somebody's saying like about a key. Is there something? Are you missing a key? Are you missing an opportunity? There's something there that needs to be resolved. Maybe turn down a recent opportunity even.
We can wait on that. However that goes for you. You can email the show at archcityparanormal@gmail.com if you want to participate. We appreciate it. You're what makes the show go. We can wait on the chat response, however that goes.
We talked about bluestones earlier. I think a lot of bluestones are also great at connecting with spiritual realms. So I know that people kind of asked that before, but kyanite, blue kyanite is good. Angelite is good. Again, lapis. So it's weird because of the same. I feel like they're in the same realm of those that would help with sleep, whatever. But I feel like because of both of those, when you're transitioning to that like altered state, I think that's a good correlation. Like the ones that are helping you relax are also helping the ones that are helping to tap into those energies as well.
They said the possibility of moving out of state.
Okay, well, key to new opportunities. So this is an encouragement to do what fits the lock.
No. Oh, I thought you were going. I'm sorry. I was totally distracted. I thought there was something else going on. I apologize. If you want to email the show, you can, archcityparanormal@gmail.com, or you can line up in the chat every Saturday, 6 p.m. You can chime in with whatever your thoughts are. I've got another email here if we've answered that question.
Do you think so? Looks like it.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
can
think so.
chime back in. We'll obviously come back to
Right.
chat before we bail. So whatever you've got, feel free to. Because I wanted to get to this one. because this person was, it was a good question, but they also wanted their name withheld, because of what they've been experiencing and what they wanted to ask about. So I thought it was pretty,
Okay.
I thought it was pretty interesting. So this is from Anonymous. The first time we've ever had one of these. This is from Anonymous. I hope I can send this in and have it held until Rachel is back. I think I may share your gift. I have had weird feelings about people and felt like I had to tell people certain things I felt like I knew. Is this the way it started for you? Sometimes I have to just say things to people that make no sense to me.
Yes.
I have often been looked at strangely and even had one family member tell me that to never bring it up again. I'm hoping this is somehow normal. Thank you for sharing my question with her. Well, you're very welcome. So I don't want to cut you off real quick, but I've said before, I don't want people to thank us for your emails. Every email that's sent, even if you tell me I suck, I'm flattered by. So you don't need to thank us for reading your email. I sincerely appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch us or listen to us or to email us. So, but yeah, so.
Yes. And my friend, if they told you not to say it again, it's because you were right on target. So as Kyle, I think, said, oh, you don't have a gift, you have Tourette's. Yes, it feels a lot like that. Like, I look at you and like,
Strawberries!
you just kind of,
What does that mean? Strawberries?
you
I
just
don't
gotta say
understand.
something. But do it. Test it out a little bit. Test it on people that you love and that love you back. That I've had the opportunity to do that some with those sitting in the room here, where I'm able to just like call it out.
You called me stinker
Yes.
a couple weeks ago because that's what my mom called
Little
me.
Chuck.
Yes.
Yeah, just like
Yeah,
you
which is
just-
really, really weird.
you just go for it, and those people are gonna be like, they're gonna just be like, either they're gonna get it or they're gonna be like, what the hell? What the hell are you talking about? And then they'll move on. But yes, that's normal. And I spent too much of if I have any encouragement for you, it's like stop withholding that. That doesn't mean, let me back up a little bit. I have come across people, I walk by them, I'm like, hell no.
We've had that discussion before. Like, oh, buck.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't go tell them they're a piece of shit, please. It's only the bad news.
even though you
Just-
got 9 people in your ear,
Yeah.
those people, that one sucks. Tell that one.
But there are messages you can deliver. I only encourage you to do it in a way that's delicate until you know. Always ask someone's permission if they want to know everything and if they wanted to know honestly and openly about everything. So like these guys in this room, for example, have told me whatever comes up, I'm free to say it. I have had experiences where I thought I was in a comfortable zone where I've clearly made someone else uncomfortable. And not because I was wrong, but because I was right.
Because you're dead on.
And it hit too close.
Yeah.
They weren't ready.
I'm sure. I can't even imagine.
So, yes, say it, but create a group of people or a person that you're like, hey, if something comes up, can I say it to you? But make sure they have people in the spirit world that you know that they're going to be able to connect with, or else you're just going to be hitting dead ends. And then if people are offended, it's because you're 100% right. And that's okay. Not everything is... Now, I say for myself, I only connect with those in light. Like, I'm not connecting and tapping into anybody from a dark energy and passing along, like, hate messages or anything like that. But not everything that someone has to say is beautiful and warm. But they have to be prepared for that. And so it may be unfinished conversations, and just handle that delicately. So learn your verbiage so that you can say something without being completely offensive and still be truthful and honest. Because the most important thing is you have to use your gift in a way that you're not hurting someone else. And I don't mean that doesn't ever invoke a painful second or moment for someone. What I'm saying to you is that our job here is to be the messenger, but not to cause further harm or further unrest. Now, there are times where I've had to say some things that don't always necessarily feel nice, but they're not mean either. Maybe it's just a painful memory or a painful situation. But do it. I spent too much of my time like withholding it. It took a long time for me to be comfortable. And there are people that you'll just meet and you'll instantly click with, and you'll feel like you know them, and you'll feel like you know something about them. if they're open, like, hey, I know this sounds weird, but I get this message, and I've had that.
The hell?
Yeah, see, sometimes shit like that happen.
Who fell down?
That's Duke from G.I. Joe.
Did you like watch it fall?
Yeah.
There's
I
another
did.
one that looks like it's ready to.
Yeah. Scarlet's getting ready to go right after him.
What did you see, Woodrow?
That happens all the time.
Do you think it's because there's okay?
None of us moved.
No.
Nobody has moved.
Do you think it's because there's someone in
Yes.
here with us?
I don't know.
100%.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is that like an attention seek grabbing?
Yeah, like, listen.
So this is gonna sound so fucking dumb.
No, just go. It's
so
cool.
They wanna play.
So during the week when you guys aren't with us, when you guys aren't with me in here, I come in here, I edit video, this is where I do the podcast. This is where I do my homework for school. If you would have been in here before, if you look over on the shelf behind, I don't know what you can see on.
You can't really see them.
You can't really see them. Which is why I need more lights. I got to get more lights. Anyway, because I'm a dork. Anyway, but over there on that particular shelf, it's sort of like a mishmash of just stuff I collect. There's some G.I. Joe stuff. There's some Transformers bullshit. But anyway, so I'll be in here by myself during the day. T's at work. I'm doing homework or I'm working on the podcast. I've got the just like now, I got the headphones in. I can't barely hear if Boone's barking at the door or whatever. And people have heard that on the podcast. If you watched this before, you've heard that. I'll have shit almost daily fall off one of these shelves.
Sir.
Like almost daily.
And you're the one who's telling T that there's not something here?
Look, man.
Thank you.
Look, man. I don't need your logic and reason right now, okay? I'm just relaying what happens while I'm hanging out in here.
Do you know who it is, Poodle?
Maybe. Kyle knows who it is, too.
I kind of feel like I do.
Who is it?
I kind of feel like it's my dad.
Who'd you used to play G.I. Joes with?
Dad. My dad bought me my first G.I. Joe. So I kind of feel like it's my dad. And the weird thing is, though, they're fairly sturdy. Like the guys on the upper two shelves, you guys can't see them. You can see the
upper one.
You can see the one shelf above Rachel's head. That has, if you want to get super dorky, those there are the 50th anniversary and 25th anniversary of the G.I. Joes, because that's how fucking old I am. But above them are like the original G.I. Joes. The G.I. Joes, the newer ones, which are the ones you guys can see on camera, do not fall over. Ever. It is always the older ones up top. And the vast majority of those up top are like the original ones when I had as a kid. They're on these plastic stands where you could go up and you would probably push one and they would slide. They wouldn't fall over. Those up there will fall over. None of the rest will. And then on particular days when we talk about weird shit like this, or when I'm editing certain stuff on the podcast, it seems like these G.I. Joes fall down. And then Batman in the back there, which is now propped up against the wall, will fall down, even though he's leaned up against the back wall. You actually has to come all the way forward. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
He falls completely off the shelf, like to the ground.
Yeah, he'll knock off Aquaman, and be out here on the floor. Yeah.
But there's nothing in
So-
the house.
There's nothing going on.
So, but it's because I don't do that. Like we have a team. We investigate other places. There's nothing going on.
You should
There's
just
nothing
let that
here.
camera roll one day when you're not here.
There's nothing here.
See what
So,
happens.
We should.
Where are you out?
Nothing.
Nothing.
so yeah.
So we'll investigate Bikles, then Poodles, then here.
Okay.
Okay.
So anyhow, yeah. We got off on that tangent. Anonymous. Yeah, find your weird. Find your group of people that you're safe to tell, hey, Aunt Eunice says hi. Whatever.
Something, yeah.
And I think Rachel made a really good point there before we got off on the tangent about my G.I. Joes. If you walked up to somebody, if I walked up to you and I said, I have no idea, some random name, Aunt Patty, Aunt Patty said your sweatshirt sucks. If that means nothing to you, you're going to be like,
That's
off.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like who cares? So when she says that the reason they tell you to never talk about it again is because it hits too close to home because it's legit, is a very, I think, valid point. Mm-hmm. It's very validating that, hey, you're fucking on to something. Because if it didn't mean anything, who would care?
Yeah.
You know, who would give a damn if they walked up to you and said, hey, you know, Uncle Bob said that, you know, your lawnmower needs fixing. Well, okay. Well, I don't own a lawnmower and I've never had an Uncle Bob. So go, you know, fuck right up a tree. I don't care.
Even if you walked up to me and said something that was legit and I would just be like, tell me more.
Yeah.
You know, I would want to know more.
Right.
Like, how'd you know that?
Right. But the flip side of that is if you were scared by it, you tell me to go, you know, go fucking eat shit. Don't ever talk to me about that again. Mm-hmm. So that's a very validating point, which I didn't consider when I first read this. That's, you know, it makes it, to me, it makes it even more real that somebody be like, look, don't ever talk to me about that again. So find your weird. I guess that's the best advice I could give you. And then of course, whatever, you know, all that Rachel said, but find your weird, find somebody that you're safe with and that you can talk to. Do we have anything from chat?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Fire away.
Are you okay, Miss Stewart?
Yeah, just tired.
Okay.
It just like...
Okay. Sarah says, my adopted dad, Mike's mom, Betty, is still here, but I think her heart aches a bit at the possibility that her father, Mr. Eugene Babinger, I hope I said it right, was not her biological father. She was always told that her mother had an affair and that she was not her father's child, and I think that has hurt her over the course of her life. And the rest of her immediate family, as far as I know, treated her like a dark cloud of shame as she was growing up. That's sad. Are you able to see if she is or is not his biological child?
I'm sorry, I don't know. But I feel like that's really terrible.
Yeah. It's just sad.
And that's about somebody else and their issues, not about... It's never about the child. It's about the other people that created that. So whether or not... And how much does biology really, truly matter at the end of the day? Like...
It doesn't. I can tell you that from my experience.
When you've been there for, you know... It's been the person who's there when you're not feeling well, when your heart's broken, when you hit that home run. Like, who is there for you, in the good and the bad?
Those are the ones that matter, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, I don't know.
She said that's okay. LOL. It was a shot.
So real quick, while we've got a bunch of folks in the chat, we are going to give away a T-shirt right now. First one to message us with their size, just like we always do. First one to message us with their size.
Hope it's a medium.
Wins a T-shirt.
But That's
funny.
That is funny.
Fire away right now. First one to message us with their size wins an Arch City Paranormal T-shirt. It's got Archie on it. It looks fantastic. You will look amazing in this T-shirt. And we've got folks in the chat right now that can verify just how fantastic you'll look.
Do previous winners get to win again?
No.
She hasn't won.
I want to give away.
She purchased.
I want to give away one to someone that hasn't won. Because I know we do have some. We have loyal fans that are watching. I don't want you to think for a second that I do not appreciate you and that you are fantastic and that you are the best thing ever because you show up here and listen to me babble while I drink beer. So you're fantastic. But I do want to give one to someone that has not won one before.
She hasn't won one.
Okay,
she
cool.
One.
So we've got one. Who?
Margot.
Okay, perfect. Fantastic. So Margot, you have won an Arch City Paranormal T-shirt. Go ahead and message us with your size. If you already bought one, message us with a size that you can give away. And we'll do that. Or, you could be stingy. I mean, the hell with them.
Have two?
Have
well,
two.
Maybe it's a different... Do we know which one she ordered? So we can give her a different design,
Oh,
maybe?
have her let us know. And if she wants a different one, that's cool. If she wants one different size or whatever that she can gift to somebody else, you know, we can drag somebody else into our weird with our tractor beam. Oh, crazy. But let us know. We will get a t-shirt out to you. Thank you so much for watching, Margot. We sincerely appreciate you showing up every week. Saturday at 6, if you're listening on the podcast. You can watch us live on Facebook. We got anything else?
Sarah said, I'm confident she will find out and be at peace about the truth regardless once she passes herself. I was just curious because I love her.
Oh, that's sweet.
Margot said she won't be stingy.
I don't blame you. They're nice shirts. So, I mean, you know, the hell with them. We won't tell anybody. I won't tell a soul. You order one for you, girl. You go ahead.
She said, thanks. Love you guys.
Go ahead. Shoot. Okay. So anyway, we'll jump back into emails. If you want to email the show, you can. artcityparanormal@gmail.com. We would love to have your questions. So I've got one extra, but then this one here is the last one about crystals.
Okay. Cool.
This is from Renee. Renee says, hello. She says, my bestie is super into crystals. I was having a tough time recently, and she gave me a piece of jasper and said to just hang on to it. I felt like it helped. It wasn't a cure-all, but I did feel like I managed my tough time better. I feel good now. I'm past that point in my life. Should I get rid of it? I'd ask her, but I don't want to offend. Is it used? She put that in quotes. Used? Do I need a new one? Thanks for the laughs. I love watching the show, even if I'm watching late. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks. Renee, go subscribe to YouTube. So anyway, we'll let Rachel answer from there. I'll shut up. But YouTube, go subscribe now. Go.
I wouldn't get rid of it. I think it's wonderful that it's helped you do its work. I would put it on the shelf and do one of two things. Hang on to it, and when you come in turmoil in the future, if you know we all face that from time to time, you can pull that back out as a resource.
Gotcha.
Or if you experience someone else who's going through something similar, then you can offer that as a gift. The same way it was gifted to you, you can pass on that to the next person who may be going through something that's similar. But I wouldn't get rid of it just because its work is done. You don't have to carry it all the time, or if you're using it in your pillow or whatever you may have been doing, you don't have to do that every day. But put it on the shelf, and then you'll know when the time is right, when it's called to either back to you or to someone else.
Perfect. Cool. Thank you, Renee. Did you have something? No? Okay, cool.
Just doing a little research.
All right. So thank you, Renee. We appreciate it. So this week we had Jennifer, Jerry, Marina, Anonymous, and then Renee that emailed us, and we sincerely appreciate it. If you want to, you can email the show, artcityparanormal@gmail.com. The graphic's not up right now, but I'm not going back through all that. We are winding down to the end, but I did not want to miss out on Would You Rather. So we're gonna do. Yes.
Can I throw one back thing into the anonymous
person?
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, of course you can.
If Anonymous wants to message us and wants to use me as practice, they're more than welcome if they want to try to do that, because I come without judgment. So
cool.
Yeah, they can use any of us to practice. I mean, none of us are going to judge.
We don't judge, so.
No.
Cool. We good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I feel like, okay, so I had the story. What, I need more beer. I had the story about AI that I was wanting to cover earlier. So what I want to do is if anybody has seen the, before I get into Would You Rather, because we're winding down. I know the people that have watched this entire time, I thank you so much. But I don't want to drag it out anymore. But I have my story about artificial intelligence, which set up our Would You Rather. So basically, artificial intelligence right now is they feel like China is on the leading edge of this artificial intelligence, and the problem being that they're going to start applying it to military decisions. So computers are going to be making, so it's very like Skynet, very like Terminator, that kind of thing. Okay, so
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay, so I'm not going to give any more info on it. I'll save it for another week or whatever. So we'll jump right into the Would You Rather. Okay. So the Would You Rather for this week. Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse, or would you rather be in a robot AI apocalypse? and we'll go with T first.
Robot. Because zombies stink and they want to eat my brains.
But I mean, they both want to kill you,
That's
so
fine.
why?
They're not going to eat my face.
But you're okay with dying.
Yeah, gonna die either way.
But
So I might as
wouldn't
well just be shot, pew pew, and be done with it instead of having something smelly trying to eat my brains. I'm good.
So zombies smell. That's the
Well,
consensus.
They're dead,
Okay.
so
Well,
they're gonna
that's
stink.
fair.
They make those weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
noise
if they're decomposing,
yeah, I'm
that's
good.
fair.
I want the clean, crisp.
So if chat wants to chime in, we'd love to hear you too. Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or robot apocalypse? Rachel?
Robot.
Robot.
100%.
Why? Really? That was. You seem like very clear cut. Like
Same reason. I don't, like, just get it over and
It's
done
just
with.
less
This-
stinky.
Yes. Well, no, not necessarily stinky, but to eat my brain, just kill me and move on.
Yeah, just quick shot, done.
Robot.
robot. Really?
I think there's got to be a way. Joey could come with us. To our IT guy at work.
Okay. You feel like he would have
Short
something for him?
Yeah, wouldn't there be a way? There's got to be a mainframe of somewhere that all of these robots are somehow plugged into.
Okay.
That you can maybe potentially destroy their ability or
Okay.
hinder their ability
All right.
somehow. Because, or just pour water on it if it's electric.
It's electric.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Matrix. There's a central hub somewhere. You just I'm gonna spill this glass
Or
of tea.
something. There's got to be a way to shut them down. Because China or whomever
Yeah.
is going to have a way to cause their ability to exist or fight should they win. So there's got to be a way to shut them down
Okay.
Yeah.
somehow.
Yep.
Okay.
Sarah commented,
Okay.
robot, because I feel like they would have an agenda and would be easier to hide from and keep our own agenda from them because we would be at war to take back the planet. So I feel that would be more productive,
Right.
better chance of surviving.
You feel like they would have but see, I picture them as like having like the FLIR vision where like they could see heat and everything. Like you're not gonna be able to hide from them.
I get a long hose.
What?
Like, there's sorts, like, get them.
Yeah,
like
get a long
like
hose with a good
fireman.
sprayer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you could fight them off with a fire hose.
Sure.
Did you think she called you a long hoe?
I didn't know what she was saying. I was kind of like, huh? Okay. All right. Okay.
Sarah says she only feels like we could survive a zombie apocalypse if they were slow. They could never be fast like in World War Z or smart
Yeah.
like in I Am Legend.
Right. See, I was going. I was.
What was
leaning-
You were
what your-
zombie, weren't you?
I was zombie
Yeah.
apocalypse.
Why?
I feel because I feel like with artificial intelligence that they would be too smart for us, and the general public we would just lose because they're just. I mean, you've been to Walmart. They're stupid. I mean, we're dumb.
True.
So I kind of feel like zombies.
Natural selection.
Well, there's that too. But I mean, I kind of feel like with zombies, we have a better fighting chance because, their brains are decaying. So they might be on my same level. I could go. I had
I see.
a fighting chance, even if they were fast. I feel like I have a fighting chance.
You just got to be faster than your friends.
Right. Exactly.
Or your others, not necessarily your friends,
So.
but just other people.
Don't fall down, Bobby.
So you got, I don't need to be faster than the bear. I just need to be faster than you. So that's where my thought process was. So anyway.
Well, none of us are faster because we've all smoked for too long.
So that-
So like 4 steps and we're all going like,
Speaking of which,
We're done.
yeah. So anyway, that was this week's Would You Rather. If you have a Would You Rather question that you would like us to do, you could send us a email, artcityparanormal@gmail.com, or just post it up in the chat right now.
Sarah said, yes, Kyle, we would be able to hide better from the robots even more with the abilities than us. And Walmart goers would be some of the first ones to
Yeah, well, for sure. I mean, I'm, especially those ones that like ride I call them Disney Davidsons. But
have you not heard him use that term?
No.
okay, so we were at Walt Disney, however many years ago it was, and
It's a
they've got
long
the
time
little
ago.
carts that you drive.
Little
A
what I'm talking
Jazzy
motorized?
500? A Jazzy 500?
I don't know. Is that what they're called?
Around.
You know,
Those?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, so like the driving
Those are
around. And
jazzy.
it's usually, It's usually no one that has like a broken foot or something like that. It's
Okay,
usually
okay.
Hey,
just
Wait, yeah.
it's just I don't give a shit. If you don't like the podcast, turn it off. It's usually just some really fat lady that has just abused bonbons.
Why is it gotta be a lady? I've seen plenty of fat dudes riding around on those too.
Fat person. Because it usually is the lady. The guys will suck it up because they kind of have. I feel like they kind of have that feeling like, oh, I don't want anybody to be like, oh, you're just fat.
Anyway.
Fair. It's usually just this morbidly obese person. Is everybody satisfied?
That's better.
So I'm insulting with a broader spectrum. It's usually just some morbidly obese person that rides that fucking thing around and can't turn corners and parks in the middle of the aisle. And I don't even remember where I was going with this.
The term, how you came up. What was the term again?
Disney.
The Disney Davidsons. Sorry.
You're a mess.
I'm so busy making sure that I'm politically incorrect. But at Disney, it seemed like there were an inordinate amount of these. They just seemed like they were fucking everywhere. Oh, and there was just fat people riding them. And it was like, okay, this is a new term that I coined. It's,
There was
like
a whole pack of them.
like a Harley Davidson.
Oh, I'm like, well, who's the Davidsons?
Yeah. Like a Harley Davidson, but they're Disney Davidsons because it's just, it's just fat. It's just
okay.
fat people at Disney
I'm with you.
waiting in line at,
So
it's a small world.
Disney
coined
Davidsons.
it Disney Davidson years ago.
So Disney Davidson. So yeah, anyway.
Okay.
So that's where that comes from.
I did not correlate the two.
Yeah. So you weren't supposed to. It's,
okay.
it's an inside thing between T and I.
Well, now I know.
Yeah. So Margot said she agrees with you, and Sarah said,
Well, who could blame her? Margot's an intelligent individual. Of course she would agree with me. Of course she would.
And Sarah said, can't be that way with zombies. Can't be the fastest survives because they would be everywhere. And in survival mode, you really can't trust others because desperate people sacrifice others and humanity for survival.
It's true. It's super true. Like your biggest enemy in the zombie apocalypse is going to be other humans, not the zombies.
Yeah. She said with zombies,
For sure.
all of the Walmart goers would still be wandering around.
They for real. With their masks just below their nose.
Gotta have the dick out.
I mean, if you got it, it's gotta be out.
They don't want.
If I had one, I'd have it out all day.
They don't want their brains. What good are brains to somebody? Never mind. So
Moving
anyhow,
on.
fuck them. I feel like our audience is like really intelligent, so I'm not insulting anyone.
They are.
I feel like everybody that's watching us right now
They listen to us.
is a Target shopper.
Can I hold your wiener now?
I don't feel.
As long
I
as you
meant the
promise to
dog.
stroke
It took me a second. I was like, wait, what? Of course you can.
And this is when the
you want
podcast
me to
gets
get 'em for
really
you?
interesting.
Hang on. Sorry, Jack's here.
It's a legit wiener dog.
I just can't see him.
Okay.
I kept smelling mine.
It's a family show. Okay, so I think I've covered everything. Unless you guys want to hear about the artificial intelligence thing?
No, let's save it for another time.
Ew.
Hi.
He's like, nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to hear what you have to
Not
say.
what I said.
Kiss me
On the layup.
So anyway, clearly Rachel's done. She has
She's
has
got her
puppy.
wiener.
She has
She's happy now.
She's getting a wiener. Somebody take pictures. Oh God. Go to podcaster or podchaser.com. You can rate our podcast there. I'm sure it'll be interesting. So anyway, remember on April 1st or May 1st, I can't even keep up now. I'm so distracted by Rachel and her wiener that she's playing with.
She's stroking her wiener.
April 1st or March or who the fuck? I can't even. I'm gonna throw this at you.
Do I need to read your notes?
I might have you need. Yeah. I might need that. So May 1st,
So on May 1st, all of our archive videos will be going to YouTube.
She doesn't even need
The
notes.
videos that you see on Facebook now will be up there from the day we record. And then on Monday, they will be transferred to YouTube.
Strong work. Sans notes, nonetheless.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our podcast. you know, just everything that we have. Our Facebook page, give us a like and a follow. But we will maintain our live feed every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So if you'd like to join us live. And if you have questions for the show or suggestions for Would You Rather, you can email us at archcityparanormal@gmail.com.
Thank you to everyone for listening today. Marina, Anonymous, Renee, Francis, Jerry, Marcia, Jennifer, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. And as always, and little dude, Mr. Jack, for hanging out with us. And as always, Kyle, remember to
Stay weird, everybody.
Thanks to everybody.